Let's go.
Hello and welcome to Week 8 of the Iowa High School football season, and welcome to the CISN Football Pregame Show. I am your host, Blake Walker. Can you believe it is Week 8 already? Well, the weather is changing. It kind of feels like Week 8. We would prefer a little bit cooler, but the playoffs are just around the corner. There are big RPI matchups tonight. There's a big rivalry happening tonight. There is so much to cover here before we get you to the big game. Let's go over to the RPI rankings released on Monday by the IHSAA. Waukee Northwest still sits atop, the only undefeated team left in Class 5A at a perfect 7-0. Dowling Catholic is second, Valley is third, despite Valley winning the head-to-head battle between those two. Sioux City East picks up the big upset win against Johnston. They sit at the number 4 position. And Ankeny, who beat Sioux City East, does have a record of 5-2. They sit at the number 5 position. Iowa City Liberty finds themselves in the 6th spot at a 6-1 record. Johnston, after loss to Sioux City East, drops to 7 at 5-2. Cedar Falls sits in the 8th spot, quietly have sat in the top 10 here most of this season, while Iowa City West sits at 9, and then Dallas Center Grimes sits at the 10 position at 5-2. Technically tied with Dallas Center Grimes is Southeast Polk. They are also at the 10th position. Ankeny Centennial is 12th in the rankings at 4-3. Cedar Rapids Prairie is also 4-3 at the 13th position. 14th is Dubuque Senior at 5-2, the lowest 5-2 team in Class 5A. Norwalk, in their first year in Class 5A, is 4-3. They are at the 15th position. And then there is an absolute dead-on tie for 16th. Waterloo West and Indianola are tied at 16th. Listen to this. They're both 4-3. Their opponents' records are both 31-32. Their opponents' records are both 283 and 284, and the RPI evens out. How about that, Matt? Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln is 18th, Urbandale is 19th, and Waukee is 2-5. Waukee is the highest 2-win team by a significant margin, still sitting at the 20th position. Remember, top 16 make it to the postseason straight up. The top 8 get to host playoff games. When we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Kapatich and Coach Baker of Waukee Northwest and Waukee ahead of the Battle of Key. Tonight, one of the biggest games of the season for those two teams. We'll be right back. You're watching the CISN Football Pregame Show.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Welcome back to the CISN Football Pregame Show. Blake Walker along with you here this evening, getting closer to the big game tonight. One of the big games tonight, Waukee versus Waukee Northwest, the third installment when it comes to football between these two teams. Waukee Northwest won the first matchup 20-17 2 years ago. Waukee then took last year's matchup 40-29. We had a chance to talk to both head coaches ahead of tonight's game. Here with Coach Kapatich of the Waukee Northwest Wolves. Coach, you got a big one this week here against Waukee. Every week's a big one, but a rival. Obviously, a game like this is a big game. How do you prepare your team for a week like this? Or is it just another week and it's just another opponent?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that's one thing that has allowed us to have success this year so far is we have taken it one game at a time. So we haven't really thought about Waukee until this week, but we know they're a really good opponent, and so I think it's just like every other week. We have a lot of good teams in our schedule, and I think we have the same approach regardless of who we're playing.
Had a big win last week at Southeast Polk. What were some of the big takeaways that you took away from especially a defensive performance and offensive that you saw last week?
Yeah, I mean, I think defensively, we've just gotten so much better since week one. I think I mentioned it last week. We implemented a new defense this year, and I think every week we've gotten better on defense. So I was happy with how our defense played, and then offensively, we're continuing to play well there, and I thought we've had some good special teams play as well.
When a team like, social media like it is, everybody looks at RPI, everything else. You guys are sitting number one. Last couple of years, you guys have kind of been in the middle and whatnot. Do you think your guys do a pretty good job of just staying focused on the task at hand and not worrying about any outside noise that there is?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big focus for us, and I think a lot of that comes with leadership. We have some really good leaders on the team. And so I think that helps. And then just our preparation, we had a good off season and we got a lot of guys that put a lot of work into this. And so, I think all those things are important in weeks like this.
What's it going to take to win here on Friday night? Obviously, keeping emotions in check is everything. But if you guys come away with a win on Friday night, what was the key factor in it?
Well, Waukee's a really good team. I mean, they've got, 3 or 4 Division 12 players on the team. They've got a quarterback that started for 4 years. So it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, any of these rivalry games always are. So it'll be a tough game. I think it'll be a 4-quarter battle. It's going to come down to, like most of these games, discipline and taking care of the ball and physicality and all those things. So, I think, if we want to be the more physical team and hopefully, limit mistakes on our side.
Coach, I appreciate your time here and good luck to you and the Wolves here on Friday night.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Here with Coach Gabe Baker of Waukee for the Warriors. Coach, thanks for joining us here this week. You got a big one this week. I feel like you've had a big one all season. You guys have pretty much the toughest schedule in the state, unfortunately, here this year and then into next year with this 2-year schedule. You're 2-5 coming into the week. The season has been up and down, but talk about the thoughts going into a rivalry game like this. I look at it as the fact that it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. It's like Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. Is that a mindset that you and your team have going into Friday night?
Yes, absolutely. Like you said, we've had a grind of a schedule. A lot of teams do, but I think we've had one of the tougher ones. I think it's really shown us a lot about our kids. But when we came into this week and we met on Sunday night like we normally do, we just really talked about how none of the other 7 weeks matter at this point. It's a 1 week at a time season, and having Northwest in front of us, the number 1 ranked team is going to be a big challenge, but I know our kids are excited.
You've had this game now twice now, obviously on the road once and then at home last year. What is the difference in a game like this? I mean, obviously you set it up for this week. They're bigger in some aspects, but what comes down to winning these ball games? You've won it once. What comes down to it?
I think, first of all, you have to keep your emotions in check. It's an emotional game for coaches and players and families and the students. So got to keep your emotions in check, got to play within yourself. And turnovers, like any ball game, are going to swing this ball game. So we got to take care of that football.
You guys have a couple seniors leading the way. This year so far, have there been any underclassmen, juniors, sophomores that have really stood off the page for you this year?
Yeah. I think we get contributions from a lot of kids. I think our defensive lineman, Mason Mortz, has done a great job, not only on the field, but just as a leadership role in that position group. We've had some other kids step up in key spots. Through the battle this season, there's been some injuries, so you're probably going to see some new faces or some unfamiliar faces here on Friday night.
Obviously, just a couple more games here left with your son at quarterback. From a dad's perspective, what has it been like coaching him, and how are you cherishing these last couple games with him at the helm? And obviously, then he graduates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've told a lot of people I want to trade it for anything in the world. It's been fun to watch him grow on the football field, and just as a person through the last couple of years, I've gotten a chance to see him probably more in high school than a lot of parents get to see their kids. But it's going to be bittersweet because I'm excited for him and his growth and his future, but I don't think I'm ready to not be coaching him yet.
Coach, I appreciate your time, and good luck to you and the Warriors here on Friday night.
Hey, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. I want to give a quick shout out to both those coaches for sitting down and chatting with us. We appreciate all coaches for talking to us all season long. When we come back, we're going to talk some big games in the RPI tonight, not just in the Metro, but around the state. We're going to preview tonight's games and talk about what's on the Central Iowa Sports Network tonight. More when we return.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homemakers on Douglas Avenue.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker along with you here. Let's take a look at the other games going on tonight, not just in the Metro, that involve the RPI that you're going to want to keep an eye on tonight. Number 9, Iowa City West takes on number 13, Prairie. Two teams that are still trying to find their footing here as of late. Prairie coming off a loss last week, can't afford many more. The Hawks are going to be really, really tough-nosed today. They're going to have to get a big win over Iowa City West, a team that's full of firepower, but like I said, two teams trying to still find their identity. Number 7, Johnston goes on the road to number 11, Southeast Polk. Two teams that are coming off two very different losses, if you will. Southeast Polk struggled against Waukee Northwest. Johnston falls to Sioux City East at home. These two teams have had so many good games over the last couple of years. This is a big one, especially for Southeast Polk trying to rally the troops and get into the postseason. Number 15, Norwalk takes on Urbandale. Norwalk's trying to get into the postseason in their first year in Class 5A, which would be quite the feat. Urbandale's gotten a little bit of winning in the last couple weeks, albeit their strength of schedule has not been great, but they're sitting just outside of the top 16 at the number 19 position. This is a big one between these two teams. And then another one out on the eastern side of Iowa, number 14, Dubuque Senior. Like I said, the lowest 5-2 team in Class 5A. They take on 3-4 Pleasant Valley. PV doesn't have a chance, most likely, to make the postseason, but they can ruin Dubuque Senior's chances. This is a big one here tonight on the eastern side of the state. We're going to send it over to our preview of tonight's game, the game that you'll be watching. Here's the preview for what you got coming up. Number 1, Waukee Northwest at 7-0. The Wolves are hosting the Waukee Warriors at 2-5. It is the Battle of the Key at Waukee Northwest High School tonight. It's the third installment between these two teams on the gridiron. Waukee Northwest won the first matchup 20-17, where they rallied from behind to win that game. Waukee won last year's matchup at home 40-29. Waukee Northwest has the best offense in the state in Class 5A, 1,824 yards led by quarterback Mac Heitland Jr., 22 touchdown passes this year. He is still yet to throw an interception. Very, very impressive. Ryan Woodruff and Tabungi in the backfield. Very good running back duo. And don't forget about Jordan Green and company in the wide receiver core. Waukee Northwest can pass the ball with ease. Between Green and Isaiah Oliver, they're one of the two best 1-2 combos in the state. Isaiah Oliver is headed to play football at the University of Iowa. Waukee Northwest defense, on the other hand, they've only given up 36 points in the last 5 games. For Waukee, they gave up 30 last week to Dowling Catholic. This is a Waukee Northwest defense that has given up just 7 points to Southeast Polk, 13 points to Iowa City High, and 10 to Prairie. Their 2 big wins on the year to Ankeny and Valley are by a combined just 4 points. They win the close games. That's what matters about the Wolves. On the other side for Waukee, Beckett Baker is a 4-year starter, and he has been very good while doing it. 938 yards passing this year, 413 yards on the ground. He runs not as much as he did last year. He tore an ACL back in the back half of the year last year before the postseason. He's a little different coming off a torn ACL this year, but still the man to be. He has had a couple interception issues, but other than that, still his same old self. He'll play in his final installment of this rivalry game. Ben Case-Haub is the back, 524 yards on the receiving end, 154 yards on the passing end, and then 524 yards on the rushing end. Ben Case-Haub, very solid back, not one of the explosive ones that we've seen in recent memory. And then Jaden Jeter, one of the top wide receivers, 232 yards receiving, 24 receptions. Evan Jacobson also in the passing category for Waukee. He doesn't get the ball a ton. You're probably going to have to see him get a ton as well. Tonight, the winner, they win in the trenches. I think that's really going to be the difference maker. Waukee Northwest is very big up front. Waukee does not quite have that size. But another thing for Waukee, it's a rivalry game. You never know what's going to happen. You have to keep your emotions in check in a game like this, and you never know. Waukee really doesn't have much to play for at this point. They have to win tonight to even have a shot at the postseason. If they lose tonight, they are most likely, I'd say 95% plus, eliminated from postseason contention. Anything can happen. It's number 1 Waukee Northwest hosting Waukee in the Battle of the Key, coming up on the Central Iowa Sports Network. That will do it for us tonight here on the Central Iowa Sports Network pregame show. It's been fun talking with you. We are excited to get you to the football field this evening. Week 8, playoffs just around the corner. It is crunch time. Enjoy the games, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Northwest High School.
All right, there we go. We've had a couple technical difficulties tonight. We're going to try to work through that as the evening goes on. Dar Danielson is down on the field, but the matter is I don't know if he can hear us. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here tonight, as we're going to get this one started here in just a few moments.
Big matchup, obviously, Blake. And I don't know if we got it on for the first part of our intro, but an electric atmosphere tonight, obviously. Rivalry night. Last year, Waukee took down Northwest in an absolute shootout, but Northwest comes in unbeaten. Waukee wants to play spoiler. And as you said before, our mics did pop on. Waukee needs to keep this game. It's a de facto playoff every step of the way now for this Warriors team.
Waukee won last year's matchup 40-29. Waukee Northwest took the first year's matchup 20-17, a game that Waukee led early, I believe 17-0. Northwest scores all the way back and ends up winning tonight. Northwest, we've seen them a couple times this year. We saw them just last week. This is a team that is very well built, well sound. The offense does it, but defensively, they've only given up 36 points in their last 5 games. Waukee gave up 30 last week to Dowling.
Yeah, these are two teams, and if you're going to sit there and say Northwest had kind of a cupcake schedule the last 5 games, that's not true. They played Southeast Polk last week, who we know is fully capable of scoring at any given moment. And certainly this is a Waukee Northwest squad that's led with size, and I think that's kind of been the ultimate formula for any state championship contending team, is just having size up front in the trenches on both sides of the football. They've had that. If you're Waukee, you've got to establish a run game, and then you got to start finding your go-to receivers. They've really spread the ball out a lot this year. Surprising with a guy like Jacobson, who's a Texas A&M commit. You know, it's one of those situations where they've just struggled to get the passing game really quickly.
So a couple introductory things happening here on the 50-yard line as we'll get the coin toss settled out here. National anthem's already been done and whatnot. We'll keep trying to test and tune with Dar down on the sideline and see if we can figure out that issue. Dar on our sideline reporting this evening. Again, we'll see if we can get that fixed to give us a little bit more insight from down on the field. We can tell you, we talked about the weather earlier. It is muggy. It's very hot in this press box. We can tell you that right now. It does not feel like the middle of October. We are one of just a few games that didn't get delayed here in the Metro. Dowling Catholic and Ankeny Centennial got delayed to 7:20. Ankeny and Valley got delayed to 7:15.
It says it's 66 right now, but you could fool me with that. I mean, humidity's through the roof. Again, it's still mid-October. Typically this time of year, we're talking about 50s, upper low 60s maybe, with nice breeze. Instead, tonight it's strictly just a bit muggy, no breeze, but still, no less, going to be a fun night. Northwest rocking the blue top, white lid, and white pants. Really like the jersey combo for them, and Waukee decided to break out the all-whites tonight.
It's going to be a fun night of football. I've just motioned to Dar to come upstairs. We'll see. Either we get it fixed or we're going to have a 3-man booth. We're just going to have to see what happens.
You know, I can always pass it off and go play with it a little bit more.
I mean, on Monday Night Football, it's 3-person booth, so no worries.
Make him our Terry McCauley.
Our rules analyst. All right, Waukee Northwest will kick things off tonight. As back for the Warriors is going to be Jay White and Jaden Jeter. Back to return. Jay White, 1 kick return touchdown this season for the Warriors. And Waukee Northwest kicking on their end. Kenan Quaid. One of the best new rivalries in the state of Iowa. The 3rd installment here at Waukee Northwest High School. We are underway as this one will sail to the back of the end zone and back for a touchback. Waukee's offense comes out. Unfortunately, last year, John, you and I were on the game. Beckett Baker, unfortunately, tore his ACL, was out for the playoffs. Felt like maybe if they had him, they could have made a strong little run. He's rebounded well this year. He runs the ball, passes the ball. He's a dual-threat quarterback.
Absolutely. I think it starts with his legs and that dual-threat aspect. Now, I will say he's probably had a few more INTs this year than his dad and head coach would prefer in this situation, but that's one thing they've got to do tonight is protect the football.
So it'll be 1st down and 10. From the 20 is where they set things up here. Ben Case-Haub
The running back in the backfield here for the Warriors. Beckett Baker will check down to Case Hobb. And Hobb turns the corner and gets upfield for a first down and much more. This Waukee offense, John, it's not the offense that seems to be the issue. The defense is something of another kin, but the offense, they know how to put up points when it comes down to it.
Absolutely. And I think it's one of those nights where if you're Waukee, you prefer a shootout over kind of a slugfest. And you see a great opening pass play there. Just a little swing pass, but everyone buys into their job as you get the block on the outside, sealing things off. And a great job finishing off the run by Case Hobb.
Hobb in the backfield once again. Now they move Jacobson in motion along with Colton Smith, the sophomore wide receiver. A lot of players have caught a pass this year for Waukee. Case Hobb on the carry, and he heads forward for a couple. Waukee Northwest just giving up 12 points per contest. It's a championship-level DNA. The most points they've given up in a game, well, they were Ankeny and Valley. 2 games that they only won by a combined 4 points, but winning is winning.
Winning is winning, especially in the CIML. And again, you said it. You got to win close games, and I think it was a good test for this Northwest team out of the gate. Kind of gave them some realistic expectations of what they should see and kind of come to know here as the season progresses into the postseason.
2nd down and 7 here. Just a minute gone by here in quarter number 1. Waukee with the ball first. They hand this one off to Ben Case Hobb, and Hobb turning the corner and just getting to the first down by about half a yard. Grant Gamble was the main ball carrier last year for Waukee. He graduates, and I'll admit, I'm sure Coach Baker has said they haven't run the ball well as they've wanted to, but they still have the size up front to do so.
Absolutely, and they do a good job on their little counter play, coming back across in case Hobb hits the hold, gets a few more, and this is how you have to manage this game offensively if you're Waukee. Stay on schedule, stay on script.
1st down and 10 at the 37-yard line now, as Waukee's going to try to keep this thing moving down the field as Case Hobb once again back in the backfield. Waukee going with the all-whites tonight. Waukee Northwest with the classic white on blues. Here's Beckett Baker going to fire over the middle. He's got his tight end, Evan Jacobson, down inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. He is still yet to have a touchdown this year, but he's going to play for Coach Elko at Texas A&M, and they really like what they have in him.
Well, right on cue there, a guy that hasn't, probably been involved as much as Waukee would like to have him. He's been double covered a lot, but nice job just finding that little seam route across the middle. Baker doesn't waste any time getting the ball out to him, and really this Warriors team is cooking right now on offense.
It was a play action, almost read option fake as Waukee is moving here at the 38-yard line, still trying to keep the drive alive. Baker fires this one short. It's bobbled but caught, and catching it was number 7, Jaden Jeter, his 25th catch of 2025.
And the go-to target for Beckett Baker, 232 yards this season, still in search of his first touchdown as well. Again, this is a team that has primarily scored through on the ground. Granted, it's been even 11-11 in touchdowns, both passing and rushing.
Be 6 yards to the marker here on 2nd down as Northwest trying to find something here defensively. Waukee, obviously your first drive is scripted. Beckett Baker's going to keep it himself. Baker hits the corner, and there goes Beckett Baker down the sideline, down inside the 10.
What a run by Beckett Baker. Just lowers the shoulder, too, to finish off that run. Great job out there. And really, I thought he'd just kind of bounce it out of bounds there just to be on the first down line, but instead it's Hayden Grisham finishing off that hit, but Baker didn't shy away from it at the end either.
413 rushing yards coming into tonight, 3 touchdowns on the ground. He's a 1-2 punch. You just don't know what you're going to get out of him. And now Waukee down inside the 10. They hand this one off. Ben Case Hobb turns the corner and scores. Touchdown, Waukee! An electric opening drive by the Warriors on the road.
And that's exactly how, if you're Coach Baker, you want to start this game out, just start imposing your will offensively. And what a job it was, and mostly, primarily on the ground outside of the big pass play to Evan Jacobson. One more look at it. Just that nice little pistol handoff. You have a lead blocker sealing off the edge, pull guard around, and then just right up the gut goes Case Hobb. And once again, big touchdown for the big man, his 7th of the year. Makes it a 6-0 game. Make that 7.
Wyatt Robertson puts it through the uprights, his 21st PAT of the year. Waukee strikes first, 7-0. We'll be back on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Waukee 7.
ball, I know I make it look easy. Hey, this ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, John Schaefer, Dar Danielson. Dar joins us in the booth. Is the microphone working? Is it working? I don't know. Let's try this one. Maybe that one's working. Nope. I don't know. We'll keep trying Dar's mic. He's joined us upstairs. So we'll keep tuning with stuff as that one's kicked along the sideline, still tight roping the sidelines, and now it is out of bounds. And it's a kick out of bounds penalty for Waukee. So the first flag of the night for the Warriors comes on the kicking side.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team, number 27. Up on the 40, 25 yards, and foul the kick, position 5, first down.
So Waukee Northwest will come out on the field. Mac Heitland is the quarterback. What a season the junior has had. 22 touchdowns, 1,824 yards. He has still yet to throw an interception. Just like Beckett Baker, a long tenured quarterback. Plenty of snaps here for Waukee Northwest, and boy, it feels like the whole team around him has really stepped up. Ryan Woodruff is the back. Heitland will fake it on first down. Mack will fire down the field, and this is caught down inside the 50 to his big tight end, Joe Vineyard. And Northwest is moving on their first play of scrimmage.
Number 7, Joe Vineyard.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. Now we can hear.
Just a frequency issue, but yeah, what a pass. And again, if you're Northwest here, you've got to kind of get things rolling accordingly. You don't have time to get behind in this drive right away.
Just talking to the two coaches in the sideline, Coach Baker, real loose there because they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah. They do not have anything to lose. Ryan Woodruff gets the call on first down. He's going to plow forward for a couple. Woodruff and Tabungi, 1-2 punch. They both came into tonight 405 yards each. That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, Woodruff is going to get the bulk of the carries. Tabungi's the big hitter. We saw that a couple of weeks ago when Northwest just absolutely rolled past. I can't even remember who they played that night. It was just a rough go. Oh, Tumwa, I'm sorry. It was a rough go for them, but look for the 1-2 punch all night long for the Northwest Wolves.
Second down and 4, and a penalty marker comes in. And it's going to be a false start on Waukee Northwest. So their first penalty of the night.
5 yards, remain, second down.
And our Mac Heitland, not a running quarterback by any means, but you guys had the call against Valley. Drake DeGroat made plays with his legs, and he's not really a running quarterback.
No, he runs when he has to. When he gets a little pressure or, he sees everybody's left with the receivers going downfield, then he'll come out of that pocket and head upfield.
It'll be second down and 9 here. Heitland, tunnel pass right up top to Jordan Green, and Green gets a couple before he's run into once again. Now he's officially out of bounds. It'll be third down and short.
Northwest just kind of living with the underneath passes right now, but look for them to kind of utilize those to take some deep shots later. Set up a pump fake here or there. That's been their go-to.
Third down and about a yard is what the call is here. Ryan Woodruff is the back. They got Joe Vineyard up there at fullback. Third and short. Woodruff with the carry. First down, plenty.
Flag in late on that play as well.
We'll see if it's a face mask or if it's just because his helmet came off. But Woodruff piles forward. One thing that we didn't really talk about, Dar, when you were down on the sidelines is that 2 wide receivers, Isaiah Oliver and Jordan Green. Waukee Northwest just so happens to probably have the 2 best wide receivers in the state in 5A.
Yeah, and that makes your quarterback look better, too. When I was down there, it seemed like the field was a little slick from that rain. Of course, I'm not wearing cleats, but they don't appear to have any trouble moving on it right now. But one thing, it's very humid down there right now, and that might play into it. Look to see if we have some cramping if they don't stay hydrated.
It was a face mask on Waukee, John, I believe. Correct. So 15 yards.
Waukee kind of handing this drive right now to Northwest with the penalty.
Northwest down inside the Metro Heating and Cooling red zone. Here's Ryan Woodruff, gets the call again, and he is wrapped down from behind. Big number 97 in there for Waukee. That's Vincent Johnson. 22 and a half tackles coming into tonight.
Senior 6'3", 227, one of those guys that touts the size in the trenches for this Waukee squad on defense, but right now we're shaping up to look like a shootout more so tonight.
Heitland looking. His first option was gone, so he takes off himself and walks in. Touchdown, Waukee Northwest.
Well, Blake, you did your homework there. Mac Heitland showing the flags. He doesn't always do it unless he has to, and right there he had to. Collapse pocket, takes off, and just tucks and goes.
Yeah, and obviously not slick down there because he faked Ryan Legling right out of his cleats there at the goal line.
So just like that, Mac Heitland scampers in. And Waukee Northwest will go on to attempt the extra point. Keenan Quaid has split duties this year with Mabu Tajik, as that one's up and through. 7-7. John said it, not me. We're in for a shootout. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Kickoff goes into the back of the end zone and taken for a fair catch by Jay White. Waukee comes back out on offense, and you know, Northwest, I kind of got blanked a little bit on that first drive. Waukee just marched right down.
Yeah, and to be honest, Northwest had the right response, though, and I think it's one of those situations where, again, stay on schedule, stay on script, don't get yourself in trouble with penalties, and you're going to stay in this game. If you're Northwest, you kind of got to batten down the hatches up front, maybe load the box up a little bit more.
It'll be first down and 10 at their own 20 here in the early portion still. Still 7:27 to go here in the first quarter. It has been quick in the early portions. Last year, a 40-29 match between these two teams. Could we be on the same possible trajectory? As this one's checked down to Ben Case Hobb, and Hobb gets upfield. Seems to be the early favorite here tonight, John.
Yeah, picks up 9 there. And again, you go to the hands you're going to trust the most. And Case Hobb has shown all season why he can be trusted with the passing game. You know, not only does he run the ball really nicely, this season he's also got 154 yards receiving and 2 scores.
And Dar, you talked about it with Coach Baker and the feel that they had. This game, it matters, but they can play free because
there's no number 1 tag on them, there's no top seed tag on them, so they can just let it hang loose, as it were.
Number 20 in the RPI coming into tonight. Case Hobb again gets the carry, and this time he is stood up in the backfield, ripped down from behind by number 44, Eli Eckerman.
Well, and Blake, you kind of said it there. The RPI at 20, you're only 4 spots out of the top 16, which tells you everything about how tough the schedule has been for Waukee here at 2-5.
They are the highest 2 and 5 team in the state of Iowa by a large margin. I mean, they were in as of last week when they were 2 and 4. That tells you all you need to know. Third down, and they give them about 3. It's a long 3 here. Case Hobb, again, got around 1, staying on his feet, trying to churn the legs. He is down right at the sticks.
Ryan Langling met him right there.
Tackled by number 11.
And that was a big tackle.
Bodie Morrison.
I'm sorry, not Ryan Langling. That's the wrong roster side. That was Brady Fitz. Fitz does a good job collapsing down, but still, change the move.
One of the captains on this Waukee Northwest team. It is a first down. Waukee not that big up front, but Northwest definitely, they have some size all on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, they do, and the thing is, you have an experienced quarterback for Waukee too, and so he knows how to move around and get the ball out in the right spot.
Man in motion. It's Jay White. Here's Baker. No one to throw to, so he takes off and gets ripped down by his legs for a gain of a couple. That was a tackle down by number 27, Bodie Morrison.
By Bodie Morrison. Number 27 for the Wolves.
Now, one thing's for sure, all three of us saw Baker before the ACL tear and after the ACL tear. He's definitely not as explosive as before the tear, and that's expected when an athlete's going through something like that.
Yeah, obviously, any significant knee injury like that's going to slow a quarterback down. You see it at the top level of the game, too.
On 2nd and 8, Baker fires short. The play was red, but it's taken by Jeter, and he's going to get a couple yards forward. Boy, I don't know who got in for Northwest, but somebody jumped the route and almost had a tackle in the backfield.
And he did get a little block on him out there, just enough to let him get free.
So again, another 3rd down and short upcoming for Waukee. What is the play call here as Northwest jumps?
And that's going to hand him a first down, too. That's a big mistake from Northwest. That's big number 98, Yamin Hassan, this junior D lineman, tried to jump in there.
And you wonder how long before all the adrenaline, I thought maybe after the first 2 drives since they both scored that would happen. But
Well, and when I talked to Coach Kapatic earlier this week, it wasn't a feel of, we are way better, we're going to dominate this game. But it was a feel of, if we get past the emotions, we should be set. And I think, obviously, that's part of it here.
You got to remember, too, we're only still a handful of seasons removed from the split. These kids were 8th graders.
Yeah.
8th graders, 9th graders going through that at the time. And so they're probably the biggest impact.
Waukee going to line up here. New man in the backfield. It's Jay White. Here's Beckett Baker going to fire this one to the sideline and overshoots his intended receiver, Jaden Jeter. Jeter and White are kind of their 1-2 punch. Obviously, we had the nice little option play over the middle to Evan Jacobson, but he doesn't even have a touchdown catch this year.
Yeah, and I haven't, in the games I've done, he had, Centennial, he had a couple, but he just hasn't been involved. I don't know if that's because they're double teaming anymore or watching anymore or what.
And Johnny's a heck of a basketball player.
Yeah, he's a little bit of everything. That family's just gifted, period.
Yeah. Along here, 2nd down and 10 with White in the backfield. Low snap, they give it to Jay. He'll try to push it to the edge, but he's not going to get much. He is stood up out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd down and long for Waukee.
Jay White, not to make a direct comparison, but role comparison, is kind of the Abu Sama of this offense in that he's the guy you want to try and get into space and blow a big runoff. And whereas, Case Hobbs kind of more the Carson Hansen role where it's just ground and pound up the middle.
3rd down, 9 yards to go for Waukee from the Warriors.
Well, what's the call here? 3rd down and 9.
Chunk play. You're at midfield. You can probably go for it if you get to a 4th and 2.
Pick up 9 or 10 yards, I suppose. What you mean, right?
Maybe don't fully go for the first down.
Yeah, 3rd and 9 here.
Baker. Plenty of time. Now running out. Steps up in the pocket. Fires on the run. This is caught. Upfield by Jay White. That's a first down. That's what Beckett Baker gives you. He just kind of sits in the pocket. He'll wait, and then he finds his man downfield.
And how much more composed is he than when we saw him
as
a freshman and he got thrown in there? And
I do remember that. I think we called his first ever game as a freshman.
First down, Warriors from the Northwest 46-yard line.
So 1st down and 10 here from the 46. Waukee moving here. And in that Valley game, hung with the Tigers a majority of that game.
Yeah.
Valley ended up winning by 12.
Yeah, it's one of those where I think Waukee's record doesn't quite signify how good they are.
Case Haub hits the corner and gets upfield. He has gotten a couple good seals on the edge. Waukee, his line should get credit here early.
6-yard pickup, and nothing makes a coach happier, especially, or an offensive coordinator happier, than having 2nd and short, 3rd and manageable, things like that. And so, again, staying on script, staying on schedule, and they're also eating a little bit of clock.
And in a game like this, clock might be the friend of Waukee.
Yeah, you don't want to give it back to that Northwest offense unless you really have to.
I mean, Waukee Northwest got down the field in less than 4 minutes. 2nd and a couple yards here for Baker. Here's Case Haub again and runs into traffic. That was blown up from the right side. It forced Ben to get back inside, and he gains about half a yard.
Yet another tackle by Officer
It'll be a 3rd and 3-ish. You know, it's one of those spots, again, it's 4-down territory. Punting here isn't going to be really an option. Field goal's definitely not going to be an option. So, you know, try and pick 3 up at minimum. Wouldn't shock me if it's a short little slant route. Try and find Evan Jacobson over the middle here.
Wyatt Robinson, their kicker, longest field goal in the year, 40 yards. John is right, not in field goal range at all. 3rd down and 4 as the crowd gets loud here at Northwest. Here comes a man in motion, and Coach Baker is going to call a timeout.
Clock nearly struck 0 for a delay of game, and that's heads-up play by the head man on the sideline.
Take a quick break. Waukee and Northwest tied at 7.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
3rd down and 4. Beckett Baker keeps. Baker turns upfield and has the first down. Gets it done with his legs.
Similar play to what we saw with the big run earlier, just going off that left edge, trying to bounce it outside. Narrowly gets another big run there, but more importantly, gets the first down, and clock keeps ticking there for Waukee.
And you can't spy him every time. No. I mean, that's just not, it's not part of your defensive plan. You don't, yes, he can run, but you have to respect it.
A lot of 21-31 personnel for this Waukee team, keeping 2 tight ends in, single back, and then a couple wideouts.
Yeah, Colton Smith's been in there quite a bit at tight end along with Evan Jacobson. There's Colton Smith that moves in right there. Play action fake. Baker fires downfield. Evan Jacobson down inside the 20. Inside the Metro Heating and Cooling red zone.
A man amongst boys out there. He's at least a man in the trees with that stature. You look at the guys tackling him, they've got a 6-foot height difference there, but Evan Jacobson really just kind of getting involved early.
Yeah, and he's finding the holes out there. I mean, he got right in the dead zone there, and that's an easy pitch and catch to Baker to him.
And again, he just hasn't been used a ton. I mean, he leads the team in receiving yards at 209, but he only had 16 catches coming into tonight. He's already got 2 big ones early. So down inside the red zone, Jay White gets the call. White gets a block. Jay White turns upfield, still churning the legs, and down inside the 2.
You know, I made the comparison to Abu Sama, and I think that's a typical run from him, isn't it?
Yeah, I see it right there. You're right.
You know, hits it fast, and then he's also hard to bring down. He's a guy that's got great balance, great center of gravity, and you see it amongst some of the top running backs in college football and high school football, just so hard to bring down. Takes a swarm of blue jerseys.
They count him down at the 1, I guess 1.5 yard line, if you will. Watch out for Baker here in this opportunity. He's got Jay White to his right. Just over a minute to go. Baker keeps, and Baker scores. Touchdown, Waukee, 2 for 2 on offensive drives for the Warriors.
And that's a drive that Coach Kapatic is going to want back, because if you think about it, they had a 3rd and probably 5 that was just handed over with that big false start that led to the momentum swinging. Great drive, way to cap it off there as well by Beckett Baker.
And instead of the tush push, the good old-fashioned quarterback draw, as you see here.
Just get some lead backs as you get the tight end punching through the middle. You get Jay White blocking out and kicking out another, and then, if you get a 1 yard push there's no doubt about it.
You think this game means to a lot of people. I'm sure it means even more to Beckett Baker as the quarterback. Robinson's kick is up, and it is through. 14-7. Waukee leads. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
The score, Waukee 14, North.
Touchdown fairway.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Jordan Green and Austin Oliver back to receive the kickoff with 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Waukee leads number 1 ranked Waukee Northwest here on the road. This is returnable for Jordan Green. He takes it inside his own 10 and runs into traffic and will get up to about the 27-yard line. So Waukee Northwest moves downfield in the opening drive, and it was really just one big pass play and then a penalty, and then Matt Keitel finishes the job.
Yeah, it was just consistency. It's what Northwest is going to do. They want to wear you down and win in the trenches. I'll be curious to see, kind of said it as after we got into the break, is Waukee has to show they can stop Northwest. That's the real big piece of this puzzle.
And like we talked about, this is a team that has given up points defensively. They gave up 42 to Valley. They gave up 30 to Dowling, 29 to Dallas Center Grimes. Heitland fires short. This is caught by the tight end, Joe Vineyard. Vineyard turns the corner, gets upfield, still going, but finally blown dead. A lot of effort for just a couple yards.
Yeah, but that was a really nice job wrapping up from Thurston Nebo. Just does a nice job sticking with it, because otherwise he's breaking out of that. Just wrap the legs and alligator roll it.
You know, we talk about Evan Jacobson, but Joe Vineyard is 6'5", 220. I mean, that's a pretty good tight end for a junior.
Yeah, that's good size.
They hand this one off to Ryan Woodruff, and Woodruff gets a good carry on second down. He's going to have the first down. No sights of Paulo Tabungi yet tonight, which is kind of a surprise because he was really strong in the win over Ottumwa. He's been strong this year. Like I talked about earlier, he matched the carries, or he matched the yardage this year with Woodruff, but they're sticking with Ryan in the early going.
Yeah, and I think that's just kind of typical of this offense. Ride Woodruff until you need the big hitter.
They go short again to Vineyard. Vineyard makes the man miss and gets upfield for more. All the way down inside the 45 as Waukee just couldn't tackle. That has been a thing this year on film as the Warriors have just struggled to make tackles at times.
Yeah, if that's to a running back, he's gone.
Well, and I just want to point out, how often do you see a tight end plant his foot like that and then go? That's just a great job. Once again, can't applaud both these offenses enough.
Fun start. Waukee leads over Northwest 14-7. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
What if you could make a priceless difference in your community for as little as $5? With the Des Moines Catholic Worker House, you can. For nearly 50 years, the Des Moines Catholic Worker House has given the homeless and low-income community a place to feel welcomed. With your support, we could turn 3,000 free meals each month into 4,000. We could build a brand new warming and cooling center in our future facility. We could provide more hygiene products, more clothing, and more hope to those who need it most. Feed the hungry, clothe a neighbor, and spread your generosity throughout Des Moines by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. Donate online via PayPal or mail a check to make a priceless difference in your community today. Thank you so much for your support.
Second quarter of action ready to get going here on our We Are Iowa Game of the Week. Blake Walker, John Schaefer, Dar Danielson with you here this evening. Waukee Northwest is driving here to start the second quarter. Leading in from the first, Ryan Woodruff gets the call, runs over, and has a couple. His helmet comes off again, second time tonight, but he welcomed contact there and got forward for a couple.
I think that's one thing we've seen from both teams tonight, neither of them shying away from contact.
14-7, Waukee on top here in the early portions. And if you're just checking scores, you're probably like, well, I mean, not many. You could have seen it coming. Game like this, high emotions, everything else, it's going to be one of those things that just kind of works itself out. Tabungi is in the backfield for the first time tonight. They pitch this one off to Isaiah Oliver. Oliver's going to turn the corner and gets upfield. That's the second time tonight they've run that play, and it's worked to perfection again.
It's fancy. You get a little misdirection going, and you get the speedster and Oliver running straight across. It's just a beautiful design.
And they sent that outside receiver up, and the quarterback went with him and left a big space over there coming back.
Take a look at the replay once more. You'll see Tabungi he's a decoy. He heads off, and then good blocking on the edge once again for Waukee Northwest. Just outside of the Metro Heating and Cooling red zone here. First down and 10. Here is Tabungi. He gets the call on first down and is stuffed. Herd of Waukee defenders came flying in, led by number 27 in there for Waukee. That's Brecken Beer.
Tommy Lloyd was the first one to meet him in the hole. Again, nice job swarming by that front four, and I think that was the big question mark coming into this game. How would the front four for Waukee stand up against the size that is Northwest?
They have built a very impressive offensive line, and a line that handled Southeast Polk with ease last week.
Yeah.
In a 38-7 victory. Heitland's going to check this one down to the far side, and this is Jordan Green making a couple guys miss before he goes down to the ground.
Just a junior, but he's been a go-to guy. And you got to remember, this is a fairly young offense
for the most part.
For this Northwest team, at least in the specialty positions. Heitland just a junior, so on and so forth.
Jordan Green, a junior. They will lose Isaiah Oliver. He's going to play for Kirk Ferentz and the Hawkeyes next year. A team that could use wide receivers.
Just outside the 20-yard line for the Warriors.
Remember, Mac Heitland, 22-0.
Insane.
Touchdown interception ratio.
You're almost just kind of waiting. You're like, there's no way he can go the whole season.
Jinx, probably.
Third down and 4. Heitland keeps it. Mac Heitland puts his head down and has got the first down. Again, I think they looked at some of that tape from Drake DeGroat at Valley because it seems the same thing. Waukee just kind of tends to forget about the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly right. And then he found a little seam and took it straight up there. You get so worried about covering those receivers on the outside.
Well, I think the other thing, too, is you haven't shown that a lot this year. No. And so why not keep it for a game like this? Late in the year, start establishing that that's in your playbook, too.
He only had 20 carries for 74 yards all season, 2 rushing touchdowns. Woodruff, again, falls forward and gets a couple.
Cut down really quick there by Tavian White.
Tackle by Tavian White, number 1.
Waukee does have a couple more players playing both ways. Unlike Waukee Northwest, pretty much everybody either on offense or on defense. And that matters here in the CIML.
One thing I will say that still bugs me a little bit about this beautiful facility, it's the only thing that's wrong with it. They don't have any markings in their end zones, just straight blue end zones. Put some wolves in there.
Play action fake. Heitland looking to the end zone. He fires this one short, though, to Vineyard. Smart decision there by the quarterback. He's going to get a couple. He was looking at Jordan Green, who was well covered in the end zone.
Yeah, Vineyard settled into the coverage nicely there. Heitland baits the defender in to at least get an angle on that pass, and then just a quick little dump off. Picks up a yard, or picks up a couple yards, but not a ton.
And Waukee has yet to even push Northwest back even any negative yardage.
Yeah, I haven't stopped him at all here, so...
Woodruff carries, runs into a pile. Is it enough for the first down? I think he's short by about half a yard. So a big fourth down upcoming for Waukee's defense.
Josh Fante meeting him there once again, and if not for that big push, you're probably looking at a first and goal inside the 5.
Boy, what could this do for Waukee's defense if they're able to somehow grab a stop? They put everybody up on the line of scrimmage. Watch for a leak out here. Woodruff carry, first down. Down inside the 4, down to about the 3. He had it by plenty of margin.
Still a pet peeve of mine. I know he gets the first down, but I hate when they run out of shotgun with a 4th and short. Just get your guy under center and lean forward.
But I don't, a lot of them don't practice it. Some of them can, I know like the group does go under, but some it's strictly shotgun.
Yeah. It's the reality of today's offense.
Darn, I last night at the Tumwa didn't run a play from shotgun. Here's a handoff up the middle to Ryan Woodruff, and he scores. Touchdown, Waukee Northwest.
Great job by his offensive line to create the hole off the right tackle. Makes an easy route. Doesn't get touched on his way into Ryan Woodruff.
All things considered, besides the 4th down conversion, it was pretty much with ease that Northwest goes the length of the field. As you'll get a look at the replay, just another really good blocking up front, and Woodruff's a tough runner. And he's running so well, we haven't seen Tabungi, who is also arguably
quick plays outside of
when his helmet came off, Tabungi had to come in.
Yeah.
Kick is up, and it is through.
Nearly
14-14, Waukee Northwest tied. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Ever have one of those awkward...
Turn down the NAT mic at all? The crowd mic? Were you able to do that? Yep. It's just...
The PA.
PA's loud. Is that all right?
I can't hear it, so...
And I think you turned it up. It got louder.
Is it the top one? I'll motion you. Bro?
She's got to figure out her commercials. Yeah, that is so.
Is the ad still playing? Okay.
That's as low as it goes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Number 26, picking up for the Wolves, deep to receive for the Warriors. It's Jay White, number 6, and Jaden Jeter, number 7.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Northwest and Waukee tied at 14. This one's a high kick, as Jeter's going to come up and get it at about the 15. And he runs into traffic, Waukee Northwest all over him. He'll start from about the 22-yard line. Well, Waukee's offense, the penalty helped, but it was only a 5-yard penalty. Give it how you want. It did shorten up the field just a little bit. But they've been moving here against this Waukee Northwest defense.
Yeah, I think they've done a nice job just balancing out the offense, running, passing. They've kind of kept Waukee Northwest on their heels in a lot of ways, just because the ground game's gotten such a nice push in the trenches.
7:51 to go here in the second quarter. Moving along here in this one. One of the only games in the Metro, it feels like, that didn't get delayed because of weather. We had storms roll through here around 5 o'clock. Baker on a play-action fake. Going to fire this one over the middle, and it's picked off. Intercepted, and going back the other way is number 11, Brady Fitz.
And the first mistake of the night for Beckett Baker is a big one, because that's going to give Northwest an extremely short field. He tries to squeeze it into a window that just was not there as he rolled out to his right, and Fitz made him pay.
And if they do score, then we'll see the replay. Nope. If they do score here, then the pressure's even bigger back on Waukee to come back and take it down.
Well, and you said it, John. Here, we'll see it again here. He just forces it in a hole that's not really there. He was trying to get it to his tight end, Colton Smith, but it's behind him either way. So, 9th interception of the year for Beckett Baker. Ryan Woodruff with the carry on the first play here for Northwest out of the turnover. And he gets a couple off the carry.
And right now, if you're Northwest, you're not pushing the pace at all. You're just being methodic. You got 7.5 left in this first half, so you just got to stay consistent with your approach here. Keep it on the ground. They've had success picking up 4 or 5 yards, a chunk play, and then mix in a little dump off from Heitland here or there to keep them honest.
Northwest definitely taking time here. Can't tell if they don't know the play. There they go. Now they get it in, but they only got 8 seconds on the play clock here, as it's under 7 minutes to go in the half. Heitland rolling to his right, firing upfield, and caught. Jordan Green not going to drop that one, down inside to about the 7-yard line.
Just a top end snag right there on the outside from Green. And again, you see the hands there. You can see why he's such a coveted asset in the class of 27 as well.
And that's the thing. Isaiah Oliver's the one that's going to Iowa. Jordan Green, we don't really know where he's going yet, but most people think, it's Isaiah Oliver. No, it's actually Jordan Green is one of the best on the team. First and goal from the 7 as we're going to have a penalty marker go down. I believe it is on Waukee. And it is.
So right now, mistakes kind of compiling up for this Waukee team. And if you're Coach Baker, I think you've got to take the next break to bring your team together and remind them, guys, we've got to play within our means.
Third penalty of the night for Waukee. 5 combined between the two teams. So that helps him out even more. Down inside the 5, Ryan Woodruff gets the call, and he scores. Touchdown, Waukee Northwest, and they have their first lead of the night. Off the turnover by Brady Fitz.
Low man wins in that situation, and Ryan Woodruff got low there as he piled his way into the end zone. And now Northwest can kind of feel the momentum shift back to their side of the field in a big way.
See the replay. This is the definition of power running. Watch this at the end. Just boom. Right through.
Made it work to his advantage. Kenan Quay is going to come on and attempt the PAT. 26 of 26 on the year. Make it 27 of 27. 21-14, Northwest leads over Waukee. We'll be right back.
Touchdown fairway.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
21-14, Waukee Northwest leads over Waukee. Jeter will take this one down inside the 10. Herd of Waukee Northwest defenders to meet him at the 26-yard line. That is where Waukee will set up shop. Beckett Baker throws the interception last time out. And for a senior quarterback, you got to think for him, it's easy to just flush and move on.
Yeah, you'd think so. He's done enough, and they need to be methodical here. Even if they don't get points, they got to drive down the field a little bit and put Waukee Northwest in a little longer field if they can't score.
Northwest, I mean both teams, besides Waukee had just thrown the interception, but Northwest has scored on all 3 possessions. Their time of possession has to be less than at least 4 minutes, and that's even with the short field there. Waukee, you said it, has to move the ball, but kill some clock. Northwest gets the ball to start the second half. Baker on a quarterback keeper. Gets a couple before he is ripped down.
Baker on the quarterback keeper, number 2.
Tackle was made by Eli Eckerman.
Brought down by Eli Eckerman, number 44, and Austin Van Horn, number 34.
One thing's for sure, John, with Beckett, even after the injury, he hasn't changed how he wants to play. He's still going to take hits, and he's still going to go after and make plays.
Well, and again, you got to remember he's a senior this year. He doesn't want to go out on a lone note, so he's going to keep playing and keep competing because you never know when it could be your last time on that field.
Jay White, big burst off the right side. He broke through 2 tackles and turns the corner all the way down inside the 35. It's a pinball. I mean, he bounced off 2 tacklers and somehow hit open free.
This is just a heavyweight matchup right now. Haymaker after haymaker, and Jay White, oh, buddy, he needs more carries at that point.
See the replay here. There's 1, 2, 3.
It was not going well there for Elliott Combe. Elliott just did not have anything to answer Jay White's lowering of the shoulder there.
Now they substitute Ben Case Hobb back in the back. First down all the way down to the 36. Low snap. They're still bobbling it, and now Beckett Baker is going to take a big loss. It was bobbled. They probably would have been okay, but they tried to hand it off after, and it's a huge loss for Waukee's offense.
They're going to call him down, though. Not back where they tackled him, but up there. They're going to give him.
Is it possible his knee was down
I think a knee was down, but you know, you look at another play on this one, and this is one of those where Case Hobbs got to let the ball go. If he feels that pullback, and I think what they're saying is the ball touched down with that possession, and so that's where it's dead.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't advance the fumbles.
Yep.
3-yard loss.
But again, that ball is intended. It's an RPO there, so he's got to. If he feels that pull, he's got to let it go.
3 wide receivers out to the right. Baker's going to fire this one short to Jeter. Jeter makes one man miss and is trying to make something out of nothing. He's going to get about 5 or 6. It's a third and manageable here. Upcoming.
Hunter Burke on the tackle, number 42, and Jackson Davis.
So third down and about 8.
5-yard gain.
So right now, 14 all between Ankeny and Valley.
And for some reason, on our end at least, that stream is not up.
Let's see if it's updating.
I was going to check.
There it is.
There we go.
I think what we were running into is the firewall.
There we go.
Because the guest Wi-Fi doesn't want students YouTubing.
Let's stay here. There's a timeout on the field. Let's stay here. Waukee takes the timeout. 4:09 to go, 21-14. Blake Walker, John Schaefer, Dar Danielson with you here. It's a 3-man booth upstairs. Dar's mic not quite working. We're going to try something else here at halftime, see if we get things shaping out. But so far, I think this game, Dar, has gone how everyone kind of thought it was going to go. Nobody thought Waukee was going to get run out of the building.
No, you talk about it, you throw out the emotions. It's these two teams battling. Senior night for Waukee Northwest here, so, everything is just charged, and Waukee itself, as a football town, has been trying to make that breakthrough. Northwest is on the verge of doing that. You're sure Waukee's been there before, but this is a big season for the whole town, and this is a big game right now for both of them.
Waukee Northwest goes to Norwalk next week. Boy, what a story Norwalk has been. If they get the win tonight against Urbandale, that'll push them a little bit higher in the RPI, but then they got to play Northwest. Waukee plays Waterloo West, who should win tonight against Marshalltown. I believe it's Marshalltown. So that's going to put them in the top 16. They're going to have to beat Waukee next week to get into the playoffs. Jay White gets the carry out of the timeout, makes a man miss, hits the corner. Jay White with speed, breaking to the end zone. Touchdown, Waukee!
Jay White, have yourself a night, young man. Look at the way he just sheds tackle after tackle. He is living it up over on the sidelines, and Waukee playing as free as they can right now. One more look at it off the right side. Great block on the edge. Great seal off on the right side. Didn't catch the wide receiver, and Colton Smith with it, and then Jay White does the rest.
Just couldn't tackle.
Yeah, Waukee coach has got to be, hey, wrap that guy up, And, of course, he's speed and he's moving. And might be a little slippery out there, too, because it's so humid and wet on the field.
It's taken a little bit, but Jay White might have saved his best for this game. 21-21. Northwest and Waukee tied. We'll be right back.
And we're all tied up again.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Waukee Northwest and Waukee tied at 21. Because of course they are.
I mean, I said it in the pregame show. Throw out records in this one. It's a rivalry
It's
night.
like Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. And Dar and I have called plenty of their basketball games on the floor. It doesn't matter, the record.
It's just, it's back and forth no matter what.
Jordan Green will take this one inside the 5. Takes a huge hit, but gets all the way up to the 35-yard line, down to the 36. Waukee Northwest comes back out. This is a big drive, gentlemen, because 3:55 to go, John. Northwest has not been stopped. Waukee has kept it rolling. You got to think, with Northwest getting the ball back to start the second half, things could get very interesting here.
Yeah, I mean, 3:55 is an eternity in high school football, and the way they move the ball, I think if you're Waukee, one, no penalties, don't give free yards, don't stop the clock for them. If you're Northwest, you go right back to that run game, see what you can establish with Woodruff.
Here is Woodruff. On first down, got through the first line of defense and gets upfield. I mean, that's really what he's been doing all night. He gets through that first line, and he's really tough to tackle once he gets past.
I think you see a little back and forth, too. He sees White doing that. You go, hey, I could do that, too, Same with the quarterbacks, a back and forth battle here.
There is a Waukee player down in the middle of the field here. I believe it's Tavian White, and he is the one down. Let's take a quick break for a quick timeout here. 3:44 to go here in this one in the first half. Waukee and Waukee Northwest tied at 21.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Out of the quick timeout, Tavian White was able to move off the field under his own power, so that'd be a big loss for Waukee. They're going to want to get him back and healthy if possible here in the near future. The clock's going to keep moving here. 3.5 to go here in the first half. Woodruff gets a couple. He's going to be short. Maybe. The initial marking was short. Nope, he's not. It'll give him a first down. He is running hard here tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those where there's not a lot more to add to that, Blake. I know we're kind of quiet in here with that, but Ryan Woodruff's just Mr. Consistent. He's going to hammer you. It's what Northwest wants to do.
Man in motion. They go right outside to him. Isaiah Oliver, he gets stood up. Good tackle in the open field by number 7, Jaden Jeter.
Guy that plays both ways. Love to see that in Class 5A.
Number 7.
Dar, they're trying a couple of these motions. They're trying to get these wide receivers moving and think Waukee, or get the Waukee linebackers at least thinking extra.
Yeah, get him out a little bit in the open, but so far they've closed pretty good on it. And Jeter, that open field play, textbook tackle,
Clock keeps moving. It's what Northwest wants to see here. And there's going to be a false start. Everybody but the center, it looked like, took off there. And this one's going to be backing up.
Yeah, because they have all 3 timeouts, so if the clock does get down there, they can stop it. That's not a problem at all for them.
Third penalty of the night for Waukee Northwest. Well, actually, they're going to talk about this.
Going to see if someone baited them into it.
We had that call the other night. Who was it? Is that the Tumblebee?
Yes. It is a false start.
They called Roosevelt for, I think it was imitating the signals or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that was that Thursday night? I can't remember, but yes, I do remember a game that was happening like that.
No updates from Johnson Southeast Polk. Sorry, I'm trying to go through Twitter to find
get
games.
The scores here, and everybody, I know a couple games got delayed tonight. Here's Woodruff again on second down and long, and he has stood up. It's going to be third down. Boy, Waukee would love to get off the field here, if at all possible.
To your point on the weather, Blake, the further west you were, the better off you were tonight. Yeah, tough night for your Grinnell guys there, Blake. I saw you point at that.
I just looked down at the score. You know what?
Hammering them in the second quarter.
My alma mater, they were given a L or a lose-lose. They walked into the $1 million night, that T-Mobile. They had all that special stuff happening. Yeah, good luck. Oh, my goodness. 21-21. 1:50 to go here in the second quarter. Here's third down and long. Play action fake. They fire this one short to Oliver. Oliver makes one-man miss, and it's the seam. Isaiah Oliver down inside the 25. A play that probably shouldn't have got much. The future Hawkeye makes the most out of it.
Jamal Richardson Williams makes the touchdown-saving tackle, but not before being dragged about 10 yards at the end of this play. As we look at it one more time, little tunnel screen, great kick out on the block, back to the inside, and just look at the power there from Isaiah Oliver.
Play action fake again. Heitland, he's thinking downfield, and it's just low.
Feet weren't settled there for Heitland. He had to rush it a little bit as he rolled out to the right. He was looking for Jordan Green. Just a little bit of an underthrow because those feet didn't get into a good stance for that toss.
And usually he is a running, or he runs, or he's a passer on the run most of the time.
I think he got excited. He saw the in route. He probably was a little off schedule on his timing with it. So his feet got a little happy back there.
Plenty of time for Northwest here. 1:20 to go. Second down and 10. They've had a couple of these tonight and have made the most of them. Heitland going to throw low again. Intended for Jordan Green once again. And
came out of the hand a little funky, if I do say so.
But it's tight windows. I mean, these guys are pretty covered up. Waukee's doing a good job defensively.
I will chime in with a couple scores really quick. Valley up 13-7 at the end of the first quarter is the latest I have from that. I know I said it was 14-all earlier. But a big one out east. Prairie trailing Iowa City West 21-14 right now in the second quarter as well.
Could be a big one for a top 8 spot. Obviously, top 8 in the RPI get home field advantage. Third down and 10. You got to think Northwest could maybe kick here if they wanted to, but their longest field goal in the year is just 27 yards. Third and 10, and a timeout is called. Coach Kapatich wants his team to think about this one a little bit extra.
And some of that is, have they really had to kick many field goals? I mean, they've had,
I'll find that for you. 1 second, I'll look that up.
Quaid is 4 of 5 this year. And Mamu Tajic, who was kicking on the Ottumwa game that we were calling, he's a kicked 1, so...
And the long for Quaid is 27 yards.
Yeah.
So right now you're 10 yards beyond his longest field goal of the season. Granted, I don't know how many times Northwest has really felt the need to push their kicking game.
Felt like it looked like he was kicking from about 40 yards out, or a 40-yard field goal out in pregame. So, and that was another thing for pregame. The field was so wet that obviously it has somewhat dried off since then, but the field conditions when they were warming up, much different than the field conditions when they start here now.
Yeah, it was pretty slick when I was down there. Again, I don't have cleats on, but it was, you kind of see it was just a little moisture on top, but it's kind of sunk in.
It's October 17th. Would you believe it?
Doesn't
feel like
not in the least.
It does look like much cooler next week for week 9, and then once we get into the postseason. All right, third down and 10. White knuckle football here. Third down and 10 to the marker. Play action fake. They fire this one short to Green, and Green is stood up. Waukee read it like a book.
That feels like a play you're content with going for it on fourth down here. And it looks like the offense wants to stay on the field because that little wide receiver bubble screen just didn't have anything developing. Waukee crashed down on it really nicely.
Also very possible that they kick this, or they get this thing all the way down, then to make the decision. And that looks exactly like...
About 30 seconds left to be on the game clock, so you're probably right in that determination. Kapatich just waiting on the official to let them know.
He's going to be able to get this thing down to about 29 seconds left on the clock and then make his decision. What do you think, Dar? Obviously, we've seen the offense has been running well. Looks like they're probably going to bring on the kicker, but not a bad decision.
If you get points here, you get the ball coming out, potential 2-score lead in this game, which is kind of big.
That might be a backbreaker, yeah. Could be one of those things that works out in their favor. So 30 seconds to go here in the second quarter. What a fun one this has been. I mean, we all knew Waukee was going to show up. There was no doubt about it. Northwest is looking really good, and excited to see what happens here the rest of this evening. 3 good games on the Central Iowa Sports Network tonight. Again, the other game started later, so during halftime you could flip it over to either Ankeny and Valley or Dowling and Centennial. I was talking to one of my friends about the Ankeny game. He's like, you got to pick the Hawks tonight. I said, what's so important about the Hawks? He's like, that stadium, Northview Middle School, is where top 5 teams go to die. So I was like, well, he's got a point.
He's not wrong.
Keenan Quaid going to line this one up, taking it from the 20-yard line. 30-plus yard kick. They're going to fake it. They throw it to the end zone to Vineyard. It's a touchdown, but there is a flag marker down. We'll see if it holds.
And I think this is going to come back for an illegal formation. Sure looks like it.
And it is an illegal formation call.
My guess is someone was lined up and covering up someone on the line. Kapatic livid as he gets the explanation from the side. Judge doesn't like the explanation he gets. And that will set them back in force. Another flag, and that's going to back them up even further.
And now he has, no doubt, pushed his team out of field goal range.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, it's not going to hurt you a ton. I don't know that you're attempting a field goal from 42. Now it's going to back it up 10-15, so that's going to be back at, roughly the 36.
But in a game like this where points matter, that's one of the big things, is that points matter, and Northwest has moved the ball with ease. Free yardage.
Legal formation offense. More than 4 players in the back.
So it is a legal formation.
5 yards from the previous spot. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Crowd does not like it, but a legal formation's a legal formation.
Well,
obviously,
you heard the explanation. 4 men in the backfield, so that's someone in your lineup or on your line not lined up properly.
What kick? How long would this be? You're looking at a
57-yard field goal try.
57 yards. And there's your timeout. Kapagic is going to take one.
At this point, why not just, I get it, you don't necessarily want to give Waukee any extra field, but why not try and chuck one here from the end zone?
I was just about to say, you have 2 of the best wide receivers in the class. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to throw a pick? There's no way Matt Heitland's touchdown to interception ratio means that much to you.
I don't even think it's that.
I don't think it is either, but Robinson's longest,
27, Quaid.
Yeah, Kenan Quaid's longest coming in was 27 yards. This is 30 more yards. 57-yarder. I don't know if I've ever seen a 57-yard field goal in high school.
Yeah, the only other thing is if you have a play to get Oliver free out in the flat, let him turn on the guns and maybe he can.
And if you're Northwest, do you dare try another fake? That one seemed to work pretty well. It reminded me of the Michigan State Notre Dame play from years ago with Dan Antonio at coach.
And they're going to go to prevent
this
defense.
is
it's going to be a punt.
Yeah, they're going to punt. So Quaid's just going to punt this one away. That is a big win for the Waukee defense.
Again, why not just chuck one here?
Yeah.
I get 26 seconds.
Waukee's not going to put anyone back. They're just going to stay and wait for this thing to go. Here's the punt by Quaid. Going to drop inside the 10 and down at the 1.
Well, you can't kneel it if you're Waukee now.
That is true. You're going to have to at least run a play. Who was that got down there? That was Blake Ludwig.
Nice hustle.
One of the senior DBs got back there. So you're going to have to run a sneak to get out of here. Take a look at the punt. Darn, I saw a great punt last night. So that's 2. We've seen 2 punts down inside the 1 in the last 2 days.
But that one last night, it spun, rolled right out at the half-yard line.
They'll take it any way they can get it. Boy, if you're Waukee, if we would have told Becky or Coach Baker, you're going to be tied 21-21 at halftime against Waukee Northwest, I'm sure he'd probably be pretty happy.
I think you take it and you look at it, without a fumble or without the pick in there earlier.
Well, the clock is running here.
They're
going to take another timeout. Waukee does.
They're probably working out how they want this to go because, again, to our point earlier, these teams don't run under center much at all.
No.
Yeah.
So do you really want to risk getting blitzed in the end zone, having a mistake happen, and then, this is perfect scenario for Waukee Northwest. So I stand corrected on why not take the shot because, hey, this is working out nicely. I'll admit my faults. But I really do think Waukee a bit in a pickle.
So what you're saying is punting is winning.
Punting is winning.
That's what I said
in
last
the words
night.
of Kirk Ferentz,
It was
punting
huge.
is always winning.
And it looks like they're going to go in the shotgun here.
I just don't think they're comfortable going under center.
Yeah. Case Hobb is the back, and he's standing in the middle of his end zone. Case Hobb gets the carry, has a couple yards. He's going to get forward progress here, and that's going to be down to the 2. Northwest has only one timeout left, so they can just keep this thing running. And that is going to do it for the end of the first half. My, oh my, what a fun one we have got here on the northwest side of Waukee. We go to halftime, 21-all between Waukee and Waukee Northwest. We'll be back in a little bit. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Employee Pricing Plus at DeArmond Automotive, Knoxville. 2025 Ram 1500s with up to $15,000 off. Incredible offers on the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee with up to $9,000 off. And new Jeep Wranglers with up to $8,500 off. And save on a new Chevy Silverado 1500 with over $12,000 off. Employee Pricing Plus. Save big now at DeArmond Automotive in Knoxville, Iowa.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker, John Schaefer, and Dar Danielson making his way back down on the field. We'll see if anything starts working out, if Dar can even hear us, or if anything starts working here. So we'll just have to wait and see. But it is halftime here, 21-21. Waukee and Waukee Northwest tied here. John, it's been a fun one so far. The offenses have come to play. Defenses, not so much. They're a little optional. But I talked about it coming into tonight. Northwest in the last 5 games has only given up 36 points all year. They've given up 36 points in the last 5 games. They've given up 21 here in the first half.
Yeah, I think if this was an SEC football game, they'd just sit there and say, look at these powerhouse offenses, right? But no, I think both offenses are that good. They've just done a great job of balancing things out. If you look at their balance pass to run, I'd say the run is dominated for both sides. They wanted to win in the trenches. Now it's just going to be determined by whoever has the most legs and gas in the tank by the end of this fourth quarter, I think.
And there's going to be a lot back and forth. We know that for a fact. I don't know. Dar is making his way over.
I just heard him down there.
Dar, try to speak if he can hear me. No, he's shaking his head. He can't hear us, so.
Technology, sometimes our friend, sometimes not.
Technology sometimes struggling, just kind of on and off. But if push comes to shove, we just come back. He'll come back upstairs and join us tonight in the second half like he did in the first half. But temperatures kind of cooling down. It was really hot and muggy there in that early portion of the game. The rain and storms moved through about 5 o'clock. And then other than that, it's been good football weather. No wind. I still don't think there's any wind to be heard of here tonight. And just kind of one of those things that's been working out for both teams. So couple score updates for you here in Class 5A from what we have.
I'm getting Dar's mic.
Barely.
You can hear him barely. Slightly. We'll go ahead and give him a test in our next break, but for now, go ahead and run through your scores.
Yeah, Prairie, number 13th RPI-wise. Prairie leading number 9 Iowa City West 24-21. Ankeny leading Valley 20-13. More high-scoring football. Ankeny, Centennial, and Dowling is not on bound yet, but I assume we can get an update here on YouTube. Norwalk also leading Urbandale 6-0. We'll be back with more here in this halftime break. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homemakers on Douglas Avenue.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Employee Pricing Plus at DeArmond Automotive, Knoxville. 2025 Ram 1500s with up to $15,000 off. Incredible offers on the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee with up to $9,000 off. And new Jeep Wranglers with up to $8,500 off. And save on a new Chevy Silverado 1500 with over $12,000 off. Employee Pricing Plus. Save big now at DeArmond Automotive in Knoxville, Iowa.
Miller under center. Drops back. Throws it out for Miners. Caught! Touchdown!
Almost a back shoulder fade. You can see a little underthrown, but let your guy go up and get it, and it's been
Graham rolling right. Blake looking, throws, has a man at the 2. Touchdown, Indianola.
Just a nice little flood route here. 3 different levels, 3 different options for the Indian quarterback. And Jaguars just not able to get all 3 of them covered.
Small back, man in motion, back to throw Nahas, looks left, throws it left. Pass is caught and running with the football, and that is Sammy Drexler. He's going to go in for the touchdown. Yeah. Wow. Drexler from 33 yards. And that was set up nicely, and I think Smallbach was one of the players that hit the block down. Woodruff
Donovan Bisbit carrying the ball tonight.
Wonge with the carry again, and the middle breaks free.
There we go.
Spins out of a tackle, is still on his feet. He breaks clear. He's to the 20. One man to beat. Touchdown, Waukee Northwest.
That yards per carry mark's going to continue to go up. It's going to be well into double digits now. Trent Condon, you get my name right, sir. Scampers off for the touchdown. I thought he was dead to rights after about 5 yards.
Make the handoff. Look and roll it. Wheel.
Throwing
wheel
up.
route.
Morgan. Oh, he
caught-
double dupes it, catches it, breaks free. He's at the 25-15. 5 touchdown. Morgan with the escape. Holy moly.
Unbelievable. He had the wheel route a little underthrown, but tips it to himself. Not only makes the catch here.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Thank you for tuning into today's broadcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our live events. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram in the description below for more coverage of Central Iowa high school sports and the Des Moines Menace. Now, back to the game.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Thank you for tuning into today's broadcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our live events. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram in the description below for more coverage of Central Iowa high school sports and the Des Moines Menace. Now, back to the game.
Iowans are working hard, but high prices make it even harder to keep food on the table. Record numbers need help. Your neighbors, your friends, your community. Stopping hunger starts here.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Thank you for tuning into today's broadcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our live events. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram in the description below for more coverage of Central Iowa high school sports and the Des Moines Menace. Now, back to the game.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. 21-all here at Waukee Northwest High School. Waukee hanging tough here. Don't forget to scan the QR code on your screen for our WOI Game of the Week to check it out on either the app or learn more from We Are Iowa. We've had a couple good We Are Iowa games of the week this year.
This might be the best outside of Valley Dowling at the start of the year. Well, all three of us. I think it's just the trio here just draws a crowd, right?
Blake Walker, Dar Danielson, John Schaefer up here in the booth.
Weather probably impacting the schools out east as you kind of look across the scoreboards. Just some quick looks. We're going to dip outside of 5A right now. Pello leading Clear Creek Amana 17-7. Prairie over Iowa City West in a big 5A tilt right there, 24-21. Looking around the rest of things, Norwalk's up 13-zip on Urbandale. Xavier up 20-0 on Decorah.
That's a 1-2 matchup in the RPI.
Big one there. Pleasant Valley leading Dubuque Senior 24-7. Say what you will about that one, but that can have implications on the RPI with Dubuque Senior being 14 right now.
Should knock them out for sure, and then who knows who they play next week, but yeah, again, big ones.
Then let me see if I can find the Ankeny score. Ankeny last check is up 20-13.
20-19 now.
20-19. Again, the Wi-Fi here from the Waukee schools keeping us kind of gatekeeping Twitter from me on my laptop. Both teams on the field, though, now as we get ready for warm-ups. And as we go into second half, Dar, I mean, it's cooling off a little bit. Still muggy, but is there any
It's a lot cooler outside than it is in here, I'll tell you
okay,
that.
that's good for them. Terrible for us.
Yeah, I know. I was out trying to check my mic again, and it's about jacket time out there now. It's cool off, and the mugginess is gone.
A couple more updates. Waterloo West, Waukee's next opponent next week. If they win this week, that means next week is a must-win. They'll have to beat Waukee to get in the playoffs. Waterloo West leads Marshalltown 24-0. Dowling Catholic leads Ankeny Centennial just 10-3 at halftime.
Wow.
Centennial knows this is a big one. They're going to have to do it.
Centennial in a similar boat as Waukee is, doesn't have the record to really hold up if you lose another one right now. And so, again, you look at this matchup, Waukee and Northwest. Northwest, the 1 seed, number 1 in RPI, unbeaten 7-0. Waukee, the 20th ranked team in RPI at 2-5.
And I talked to Coach Baker about it, and I said, man, you've played a lot of tough teams. He's like, yeah, but, you know, we really weren't. We were just given the schedule, you know. We just kind of ran with it. And he's like, yeah, we've played tough teams, but every team's tough in the Metro. And that's just a standard coach answer. But I mean, it is true. It has been one of those nights.
Iron sharpens iron, and, you know, if Waukee can get a break here, you think back to that first half. You have an interception inside your own 30, leads to a touchdown. You get a good stop, a big stop late thanks to an illegal formation penalty.
And an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. This game could easily be a 21-14 lead for the Warriors. Again, this first drive for Northwest will set the tone for what we should expect in half number 2.
5 penalties in the first half for Waukee Northwest, Dar, and if Waukee comes out with this game, that last drive for Northwest with those 2 penalties are going to be one that they're going to have to circle.
Yeah, they got to stop, and that was the thing we wondered, could they? You know, they did with the help of penalties, you know, remember the fake field goal, that was the first penalty, and then the coach didn't like it. But, yeah, so they got to have a little confidence in that defense now coming out.
So about 1 minute to go here in the halftime break, as Waukee will be kicking this one off, and Waukee Northwest will be the one receiving here out of the halftime break. Great crowd on hand tonight for both teams. Waukee brought the student section out. They almost kind of all fit over there.
No, they were packed in right at 6 o'clock when the place opened. I was pulling up, and they were already well organized over there, so a lot of prompts over on that squad.
We're just testing my microphone.
Everything sound okay?
Yeah, it just seems, I don't know. We got some weird stuff happening with our audio equipment. Trying to make it all work. All right, here in the second half, ready to get going. We are underway. This one's going to be taken short for Waukee Northwest by Michael Dunnigan. And Dunnigan gets upfield. And Waukee Northwest will set up shop offensively.
So, Dar, what do you think they do here?
I think they hand it off.
I like that idea.
Well, and what's crazy is, we had the game against Ottumwa. Ottumwa obviously not really great defensively. Northwest was just long bomb. We really haven't seen that tonight. Northwest has just kind of picked up down the field, couple chunk gains here and there.
Well, I think you got to give credit where credit's due. Waukee's secondary's kept everything in front of them.
Isaiah Oliver in motion here on 1st down and 10. Heitland throws to Oliver. He loses the football, and Waukee's on it. A costly turnover to start, and Waukee just what they needed out of the halftime break.
And who hopped on it but Andrew Hine, the senior D lineman. And this is just an unforced error. If we can get one more look at it right here. The quick hitter, man goes in motion. Oliver sees it into his hands, tries to make a cut. It gets punched out. What a punch it was by Caden Crispin.
Yeah, you just saw him starting to move, and instead of, they do more of that now. I think they watch college and pros where instead of trying to wrap up, you punch at the ball and get it out.
The peanut punches, they call it. Peanut Tillman created it, and it's been something every DB does. But no less, there's the Waukee response and the turnover they need.
And we thought it might come down to a turnover tonight that would make the difference. They put both tight ends in motion here as Waukee pretty much, you act like they got it off of the halftime break. Here's Ben Case-Hobb. No, it's Beckett Baker on the quarterback keeper. Runs into traffic and has the first down. Waukee Northwest defense, all things considering, only really once have Waukee gotten downfield because of a penalty. They have looked really good tonight offensively. And Waukee Northwest defense, arguably the worst they've looked all year.
Both teams have now made one error on offense each. I think you got to give each other that. But now it's how do you answer? Your defense has to give you something. But what a great play design there by Beckett Baker and Coach Baker on the RPO.
Waukee is fighting for their playoff hopes. They have to win tonight. If they lose, they're eliminated from the postseason. Ben Case-Hobb hits the edge, runs into traffic, stays on his feet, still churning the legs, and finally down inside the 20. That's one thing tonight, Dar. Waukee, both teams really, but Waukee especially, they're not being brought down on that first tackle.
Yeah, they're breaking tackles. I'm sure they probably talked about that at halftime. If we make some tackles here for Waukee Northwest, they're a lot closer in this.
What a game it has been so far, up and down the field. Now both teams have a turnover.
And really for Waukee, it's like you got the ball to start both halves.
Yeah, really that's all it turned out to be. 2nd down and short. Baker keeps it. Good blocking upfield. Beckett Baker hits the hole. Now cuts to the outside. Touchdown. Saving tackle on the back end by number 30 for Waukee Northwest.
Blake Ludwig in on that tackle. Tries to get the strip as well. But great patience by Beckett Baker as he hits the hole. Lets his lead blocker kind of do some work. Then cuts it back to the left. Again, I've been really impressed with the senior. And that's what you want out of a senior quarterback.
And they didn't do much of that in the first half, so now come right out in the second half and throw it in there.
Inside the Metro Heating and Cooling red zone, down all the way to the 9-yard line. Waukee trying to punch this thing in. With Case-Hobb back in the backfield. They give it to him. Ben turns the corner, now cuts upfield, and is stood up by a wall of Northwest defenders all the way down to about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, Waukee methodical on this drive. Really been impressed by just kind of their approach. I think their offensive line has done a great job to win the battle so far tonight, and that's something we haven't seen a lot of teams do against this Northwest squad.
From the Wolves' 5-yard line.
1st down marker, not a thing. It's 2nd and goal to go. Now they put Jay White in the backfield. Way out here on the right side, Colin Costigan. For Waukee. It's Miles O'Connor. Jay White to the corner, cuts up field and scores. To the lead goes Waukee.
What a great run. Jay White finds the edge and just fires through it. A lot of great blocking on the outside as well. And if you saw the pancake block over on the far side, didn't quite catch a number. I think it was Colton Smith on the top of the screen, the tight end. If you watch closely, he's going to seal off the edge, then just keep that block sustained. No, it wasn't Colton Smith. He got through. Either way, Jay White puts his team in front.
Every time, Dar, when we called it on the basketball court, one guy stepped up and was the big difference maker. Jay White has been an established player, but boy, he's stepping up tonight. Kick is up and right down the middle for Robinson. 28-21. Waukee takes back the lead off the turnover. We'll be back.
Northwest 21. Northwest Athletic Booster Drive.
Touchdown fairway.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
28-21, Blake Walker, John Schaefer, Dar Danielson up here in the booth, walking you through Waukee Northwest versus Waukee, the Battle of Key. Kickoff sent to the right side. It's going to stay in bounds. Jordan Green bobbled it for a second. Now pushes this thing to the outside before he tries to break a couple tackles. He's still on his feet, and he's finally brought down. Nobody could tackle for Waukee's defense, and Northwest comes back out offensively.
A lot of excitement there, bobbing and weaving all around that for an extra 6 yards, but Green nearly bobbled that right into the hands of Waukee once again. If you're the Wolves here, you cannot afford any mistakes on this drive.
He did not want to be tackled inside the 20 for sure. He wanted to get it out a little ways. But
also, just want to point out, off to the southwest of the facility here, seeing a nice lightning show up in the clouds. It's well out of range here to delay us.
We talked about that Grinnell Newton game. I know they got delayed earlier. Ryan Woodruff gets the call on first down. He is ripped down, tackled in the backfield by Threston Nebo.
Nebo showed up big in a couple spots. None bigger, though, than that, because that's likely, that rips Woodruff down before he can really get ahead of steam going. He can pick up 5, 6, 7 after that one.
Going into tonight for Nebo, one of the team's top tacklers.
Just a junior, too.
And this is a team full of seniors. I mean, quite a few seniors. And that's crazy for a team that's 2-5. You hate to say that, but Heitland fires short. Vineyard is wide open. Nobody's home. He's still dragging defenders down, and it is a first down and much more. What did that? Waukee, one of the DBs, Alvin Greer, he was in zone, and he backed way off to get ready for the pass, and Vineyard was wide open.
Well, and also that's what happens when you run the ball well, because your eyes get locked into the backfield and you don't see a tight end leak out like that, and that's just good play design, and Vineyard is a tough kid to bring down. We talked about him early on in this game. He's right up there, in my opinion, with an Evan Jacobson.
Heitland fires this one short. This is going to be caught on the far side by Dunnigan. Michael's going to get upfield for about 6. That's one thing for sure. A couple quick throws tonight for Waukee Northwest. Not really a ton of long developing plays.
No, and I think that secondary is playing so deep, and they're coming to the ball quick, so you'd think maybe they try,
6-yard game.
A man covered, at least, yeah.
And then go deep, but
to at least push yourself just a little bit more, and maybe you can jump a route and take it back the other way. Here comes a blitz. It's picked up well, and Woodruff just staying patient, gets upfield. Pretty easy to catch a blitz going when you got big number 71, Dalton DeBoer, 6'6", 330.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, I was down there next to him. He passes the eye test easily.
Well, again, that's what we've talked about a lot with this Northwest team. They're number one in the 5A for a reason, and if you're going to beat Valleys and Dowlings of the world, you've got to win in the trenches.
And Waukee just does not have the size up front. You can't chalk it any other way. Woodruff again. Turns the corner. Ryan Woodruff off to the races. Down inside the 20, all the way down to the 15-yard line. More great blocking up front by the Northwest Wolves.
And it starts with Dalton DeBoer once again, the pancake block out on the edge. That, I feel bad for any DN that's stuck on him because you're not going to get much leverage.
There's your deep shot, but it was on the ground. You know, he got it outside and took it.
Another look at it. Watch pick 71. Left tackle out here. He's going to get his defender and just seal that off.
First down and 10. Fire to the end zone. Incomplete. Broken up. Missed it there out of the replay, but a toss to the end zone. Broken up on the right side. Intended for Jordan Green. It was a one-on-one coverage.
Jamal Richardson-Williams on the breakup out there. Sorry about the replay.
That's really the first time tonight they've tried a one-on-one shot like that.
Well, you get the ground game going and take a shot.
Jamanuel Richardson-Williams was the one in coverage for Waukee. Second down and 10. Woodruff on the draw. Breaks through a tackle and down inside the 10. Boy, Waukee, both teams really, struggling to grab tackles here tonight.
Woodruff comes up gimpy, though, and that's not a good sign. It looks like his knee brace is a little bit off kilter, and he's going to need a sub.
He kept saying, he's like, I think I can go, but
he's either in some pain or he needs a knee brace readjustment.
Yeah, it said way down by his ankle. He pulled it up and was going to try to stay in. But
Paulo Tabungi goes in the backfield. Yeah, have fun with that. He's pretty much the same exact thing Ryan Woodruff is. So pretty much you sub in for yourself. Northwest gets Waukee to jump. 5 free yards to the Wolves. Fourth penalty of the night for the Warriors.
Another one that bites him in the rear a little bit. It'll be a half yard. Or halfway to the distance. To the goal line. Woodruff getting some more attention. It might be more than just the knee brace needing a little bit of attention there.
They got 2 fullbacks in the backfield here for Heitland. He trips while handing it off to Tabungi, who runs into traffic. Boy, that could have been disastrous as Heitland fell to the ground and barely got it out to Tabungi.
Looked like a pitch more than anything as he's tripping down to the field. He tossed it up, and Woodruff now off the cart. I think he's waiting for a signal to go back in, but I think they'll let Tabungi kind of cap this drive off.
They had Elliott Combe in there as well at fullback. Now they put their 2 star wide receivers to the left and to the right. You don't have to get too cute here on second down and 4.
21 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 back.
False start.
That's a self-inflicted wound for Northwest.
Penalties just killing both teams tonight.
Oh,
encroachment. I thought for sure
there's some movement up there.
Yeah, it looked like movement, but caused because of the encroachment.
they put Vineyard in motion. He was going to go out to the right. I think they were going to try to hit him out in the flat and let him kick it in.
Now I think you just lower the head with Woodruff again, who's back in.
Second goal from the 2. Just over 5.5 to go here in the third quarter.
How would you like to have Henry Moore as your fullback?
Woodruff dives. No signal yet. Yes, there is. Touchdown, Waukee Northwest. 1 point away from tying this thing back up.
Don't let the refs tell you, let the LED light show tell you instead. Out here is Northwest, a PAT away from tying this thing up.
Knee looked fine. He dove into the end zone.
Yeah.
No ease.
One more look at it. You get 2 big fullbacks in there. Handoff goes a little bit smoother. Woodruff up over the top.
He paid for it. He dove right into the pile of defenders. Quaid will come on and attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle. 28-28, 5:28 to go here in the third quarter. We'll be back.
I'm going to go use Waukee 28.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Kick out of the back of the end zone. Waukee's offense comes back out. Blake Walker, Dar Danielson, John Schaefer along with you here this evening from Waukee Northwest High School. 28 all. Final score of last year's matchup was 29-40. Waukee took it.
I was going to say, first one to 40 wins here. Looks like
Northwest in their last 5 games have only given up 36 points. This is how much of an anomaly. I mean, they only gave up 7 to Southeast Polk, and that's a very good Southeast Polk team on offense. So, very interesting. The weather has turned out nice. Not a bad evening by any means. We have seen lightning off in the distance, but it moved through at about 5 o'clock this evening. And we're able to get some football in. Ben Case Hobb on first down, turns the corner and gets a good chunk of yardage. Going to be about a yard short.
Yeah, you love that on first down. That gives you a lot of options now on second.
Austin Van Horn maybe stop.
And it seems like there's really no differential. I mean, Case Hobb has gotten close to breaking a couple. Him and Jay White right there 1-2 on the running attack.
Yeah, and then they throw in on that last break. They throw in Baker, the quarterback, running up quite a bit there. So they just kind of kept him off balance a little bit.
A lot of offense, not a ton of defense. But both teams have forced a turnover. Waukee forced the fumble. Fitz had an interception for the Wolves. On second and short, Beckett Baker keeps it. Baker turns the corner, almost hurdled the man, and gets down to about the 39-yard line. First down for Waukee.
Just again, one other runner to worry about.
And for Waukee, this is a drive where, I mean, still plenty of time in this game, but they're got to be thinking clock based off how the defenses look tonight. 4:20 to go here in the third quarter. Moving along here. They put a man in motion here on first down. Jay White. Going to get a couple upfield. Northwest there to corral him. Obviously has had a good night tonight. Couple touchdowns for number 6.
But they got to like him running up the middle a little more than on the edge, because on the edge is where he's done the damage. He breaks free and he gets out there.
Fitz is running off. I can't tell the way he's holding it. His left arm is completely limp. So Brady Fitz, the one who had the interception earlier, just walked off and his whole left arm just drooping down.
Sometimes you get a stinger or you hit that elbow.
Being tended to on the sideline, so they lose one of their captains here for at least a few plays. Second down and medium. Ben Case Hobb again tries to get to the corner, but he stood up on the edge. Nice tackle on the far side by Titan Fisher, I believe, was over there. And here we go. Third down and give them 7 here. Huge play for Northwest defense. The Warriors have not gone to the air a ton tonight. Baker still waiting. Now they're going to wait for the play call here. They got plenty of time, 15 seconds. In a tight game like this, I'm going to guess you probably don't want to use your timeouts if you don't have to. Third down. Baker, he's going to keep it and gets driven down from behind. He never stood a chance. Eli Eckerman, the junior linebacker, had him figured out the whole way.
Yeah, great job. Just kind of pouncing from the backside. He got around the far end and Just got it on Beckett Baker before he could get the legs churning. That's a huge stop on 3rd and 6. For a loss especially, that's going to force a Beckett Baker punt now. And Northwest with a chance to take their lead back in this game.
It's the first stop of the night that's not a turnover.
Yeah, and that snap came in a little high on him, and I think that threw off his timing a bit there.
Jordan Green, I believe, is the one back to receive here, and Beckett Baker averaging 38 yards per punt. He's quite the punter. There it is, right there. Green's going to have to call a fair catch, and it's caught at about the 15-yard line. So Northwest comes back out, looking for an advantage here. All things considering, this is pretty much what the beginning of the second half looked like. Northwest had a chance to take the lead. They throw the interception, then Waukee gets the advantage. Now Northwest has a chance to take the lead right back.
Yeah, and if you look at this Wolf squad, they last led 21-14. It's been back-to-back scores unanswered, or that went unanswered briefly until Northwest's latest touchdown. But now, outside of the turnover, they've shown that they can't really be stopped. So, got to sustain a drive here and prevent any errors and turnovers.
And it's no hyperbole. They cannot be stopped. I mean, Waukee just has, I don't think Northwest has a negative play tonight. Woodruff plows forward and gets a couple on first down.
Yeah, and that offensive line, to your point, Blake, just been getting a push all night, especially off that left side where they've got so much size. You look at this Northwest team, their offensive line, we've preached it a lot, but we're going to preach it again. Just size after size up and down the line.
And sometimes it's a per-year thing. Waukee has had big offensive and defensive lines in the past.
But it moves through and switches.
Well, and it goes athletic, too.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Man in motion. Heitland looking, fires. It is caught. Isaiah Oliver somehow, someway, Heitland fitted in a window as Waukee had it red most of the way.
Yeah, Jaden Jeter draped all over Mr. Isaiah Oliver. One more look at it here. This is just a great little rollout pass. Get Oliver moving in motion, quick out, and then a dime from Heitland.
Boy, just barely made it work. Fresh set of downs for the Wolves. Oliver in motion again. They hand it off to him. He hits the seam. Here goes Isaiah Oliver up the near sideline and planted down to the ground. Another first down for Northwest.
Final drive finish over there once again from Jeter. But first and foremost, Northwest now getting some confidence. They've worn out that Waukee front. You're starting to see that kind of impose their will here late in the third quarter.
Waukee only has one interception all year. Heitland hasn't thrown any all year. So if you're asking for help from your DBs, they're going to have to step up because the only interception this year was from a lineman for Waukee.
Knock on wood right there.
Ryan Woodruff, big hole on the right side, puts his head down and gets a couple. But they have got the left side pretty much sealed up, and DeBoer's doing a pretty good job at it.
Again, we talked about his size, and Dar, I mean, you stood next to him. When a guy's 6'6",
330.
I mean, it's going to be imposing regardless.
Yeah, you're looking up there, and then it's like, man, because you see that in high school, big kids, but he's just like college size already.
He'd be a starting center on the basketball team if he was a 1A or 2A player. Second down and short. Oliver with the catch. He got drilled, but still maybe able to get a yard or a couple out of it, as Waukee just didn't wrap up. Smith Fitzgerald was in there, and he hit him, but he just didn't tackle him, and we'll be looking at final couple plays of the third quarter here.
It's worth mentioning, we've said DeBoer's name a lot. He is committed to Wake Forest, and that's one thing. I mean, he's a D1 talented offensive line.
Demon Deacons are getting a demon.
Good way to put it.
Third and short. Woodruff, first down and more. More by about a yard. Waukee just struggling to get the rushing attack contained here.
And again, I think it's because they're keeping their safeties high. If you look at their defense, they really are trying to keep everything in front of them. They don't want to bite on a play action.
But we know how talented the wide receiver core is. They're going to have to run a play here before the end of the third quarter, as play clock and game clock are separated by about 2 seconds.
They're also putting two receivers out there, and they're running to the short side where there's less help.
On first down at 10, Heitland's going to fire this one short. It is dropped. Low ball intended for Mitchell Dunnigan. He's had a couple of those tonight that have been just a little low.
I'd be curious to see the grip on that one. I feel like his low passes, his grip's probably not where it needs to be on the laces. I know that's been a big talking point for Iowa football fans at times with Mark Gronowski, but if you don't get the fingertips on those laces, it makes it a little bit harder to get the zip you want on it, especially on a kind of damp night like tonight.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Took everything in me not to say moist there, guys. Just a word you don't want to incorporate.
28 all. 9 seconds to go in the third quarter. Here's Woodruff. Finds a hole and gets a couple. It's going to be 3rd down and about 6 or 7 when we come back here for the fourth quarter. 28-28. All knotted up here on the northwest side of Waukee. We'll be back. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network.
What if you could make a priceless difference in your community for as little as $5? With the Des Moines Catholic Worker House, you can. For nearly 50 years, the Des Moines Catholic Worker House has given the homeless and low-income community a place to feel welcomed. With your support, we could turn 3,000 free meals each month into 4,000. We could build a brand new warming and cooling center in our future facility. We could provide more hygiene products, more clothing, and more hope to those who need it most. Feed the hungry, clothe a neighbor, and spread your generosity throughout Des Moines by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. Donate online via PayPal or mail a check to make a priceless difference in your community today. Thank you so much for your support.
The light show is on and running here at Waukee Northwest High School. That means it is the fourth quarter. Blake Walker, John Schaefer, Dar Danielson with you here.
Yeah, obviously the new no phone rules does not apply to after-school activities.
Northwest has 3rd down and medium here.
3rd down, 6 yards to go for the Wolves.
28 all.
36-yard line.
Offensive shootout. Don't know if you at home had that in your book, but I don't think a lot of people saw this coming. The clock is not being set to 15. They have to get the clock to 15 seconds before we play, or 12 seconds. 12, what am I trying to say? 12 minutes. There we go.
Not that I believe in sports betting on high school football by any means, but if you took the over, you feel good tonight.
3rd down and 6. This is a big one. Oliver with the carry. Turns the corner, has the first down. Boy, he wasn't touched till he got about 3 or 4 yards downfield.
I didn't catch a number on who he made miss, but the jump cut he had back to the outside was absolutely filthy in all the right ways.
They're really starting to work him in here in these last couple plays.
Yeah, and he's patient there. You said got the jump cut. He just kind of waited and went out the lane there.
And if you're Northwest, you're not really too mad about the clock moving. Now, granted, it was a first down and out of bounds, so the clock stops. But time of possession feels like it's been pretty even for the most part. Waukee's definitely had it a little bit more. Ryan Woodruff did not get much. They're going to give him maybe
they'll give him back to the line of scrimmage, yeah. First time tonight we've really seen Waukee get a push up front to make a stop like that.
In the backfield, Vincent Johnston was in there. Brings up 2nd down and 10, but 2nd down and 10 really hasn't phased Northwest. They've had a couple of these tonight, and it just really hasn't mattered.
Always look for where Isaiah Oliver is on the field, because my guess is they're going to put him in motion here to the near side where you've got 2 receivers and try and create something.
10 yards to the marker. Dunnigan in motion for Northwest. Heitland will roll. There's whistles. There's whistles being blown. The play is dead. I'm not sure. I thought I heard whistles, but I guess
the play could have been from the crowd.
Okay, I guess the play was live. I could have swore there was whistles being blown, but the deep ball was incomplete, intended for Jordan Green.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10, and this is a really pivotal moment in this game. If Northwest can get some momentum going or get decent chunk out, they're not going to take a field goal here.
3rd down. 10 yards to go for the Wolves. From the Warriors' 30-yard line.
Now the Waukee faithful gets on their feet. 3rd down and 10. First down's at the 30. Vineyard is just off of left tackle with Ryan Woodruff in the backfield. Play action fake. Heitland looking, fires short, in and out of the hands of Ryan Woodruff. He had a lot of green grass in front.
Couple blockers here, too. Yeah.
But the senior cannot hang on, and what is the call here for Northwest?
I think you have to punt here. It's too long of a 4th and 10.
Well, he's turned around his punter and said, no, we're not punting. He told Keenan Quaid down there on the side, he came over and said, we're not punting. So they're going to go for it at 4th and 10 from the 40. Again, you don't want to waste a timeout here if you're Waukee. 10 yards. It's a punt by Heitland. It's going to go down inside the 5. And once again, for the second time tonight, Waukee Northwest has pinned the Warriors inside the 5.
Beautiful punt. Nice shot by Heitland. And now you're kind of backs against the wall if you're Waukee.
I thought for sure maybe whoever caught that maybe had a foot on the line, but it was not enough. Waukee thought for sure.
It's a little bit different than the last time when the clock was going to run down at the end of the half. But here, if you don't get a first down, you're going to give them back good field position.
Right.
Probably.
So it'll be first down and 10 from the 1. It is exactly like Waukee had just before the end of the half. And again, John will bring up again that Waukee doesn't have any plays out of under center. So they're going to have to run shotgun here. Let's see what they do here. Ben Case-Hobb is the back. How aggressive do you get down inside the 1? Smith in motion. Case-Hobb stood up. He's going to get a couple. Boy, Northwest got one in there. They just couldn't make the tackle. There was a free lane in there, and Case-Hobb's going to get 2.
And Waukee Northwest almost got 2.
Yeah, they did.
For a minute there.
Very, very close. Waukee can breathe a little bit better. They're going to give him a yard, but it feels like more than a yard, maybe about 2. Your playbook is so small down here, John. This is...
It's just hand it off, and probably try and get away with a punt.
Accept your fate that you've gotten beat on a field position game. Colton Smith in motion again. Play action fake. Over the middle. Evan Jacobson's got it. First down. You thought maybe they'd bring that play out as Northwest had pushed everybody up on the line. Big first down to get outside of the 20.
Yeah, just a great read on the RPO there. And why not go to your star tight end? I think Waukee Northwest kind of thinking what we're thinking, right? They're just going to run the ball. They want to play it safe here. Well, Coach Gabe Baker had a different idea.
Now breathing room for the Warriors, almost as if they just returned to kick. They put them trips to the right here on first down. Northwest showing blitz. Baker's going to check this one outside. I believe that's White, who has stood up. Not going to get far. Ripped down to the backfield by Elliott Combe. They are going to give him at least a yard or 2.
Number 17 and Blake Ludwig.
It was almost perfect coverage of that play defensively. They didn't get around the blockers and stop him before he got any momentum.
9:21 to go. Waukee's got to be thinking clock here. Just try to get this thing down as far as you can if you can continue to keep moving the football.
Yeah, there's still a lot of game left, but you keep moving the ball down the field. Don't step out of bounds unless you have to, but playing everything right now.
Jay White is the back on second down. White stood up. Going to lose a yard. He was ripped down in the backfield. Couldn't quite tell the number once he comes out of the pile here. Number 99, Jackson Davis. 21.5 tackles coming into tonight. 3 sacks. He makes the big play in the backfield. It's third down and a long 9 for Waukee.
And now it backs against the wall once again. What do they bring here? We saw Beckett Baker try and run in a situation like this a drive ago. We just saw the Evan Jacobson dump off. I think it's more likely to be something along that line of play.
Third and a long, 9 yards to go to the marker. Play action fake. Baker looking, just going to take off. There's nobody home. He runs into traffic and has the first down and much more. Boy, nobody stayed at home. I think a corner stayed with a wide receiver, but nobody picked up number 2.
And Eddie Kennedy decided to try and meet him right at the line to gain, and Beckett Baker just lowers his shoulder, bounces off, then adds a few more.
There's nobody home here on this right side of the field, Dar.
Fakes it. Well, the good block there.
There's your next closest man, number 34 there, Austin Van Horn, one of the captains who just followed the wide receiver. That's what a dual threat quarterback can get you. So Waukee keeps the chains moving here. First down and 10 from the 38. Baker keeps it himself and going to get a couple on the quarterback keeper. Again, if you're Waukee, clock keeps moving. You're just going to be content with this.
Heck, I think you just keep eating clock to the point you can take a field goal.
Yep.
Boy, what a game this has been. Waukee, if you're just tuning in, 28-28, back and forth all night long. Both teams do have a turnover. Northwest fumbled earlier. Isaiah Oliver out of the halftime break. That gave Waukee the lead. Beckett Baker's thrown an interception. Waukee has to win tonight. If they lose, they are eliminated from the postseason. And it just so happens to be on the road against their number one rival. Case Hobb on the outside. I believe it was Case Hobb all the way to the far side. First down and more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
For Waukee. No, it was number 28.
Miles O'Connor, the sophomore.
Had 9 catches coming into tonight for 107 yards. Waukee moves the chains again.
Just a little lob pass out to him, and he runs straight ahead.
There's nothing more debilitating than a drive that started at the 1-yard line.
You mean debilitating?
Yeah.
That's what I thought you meant.
Closing in on 7 minutes to go. Southeast Polk leads Johnson 17-10, by the way. Thanks to the scoreboard up here for helping us out on that one at halftime. Case Hobb. Boy, went middle, but then turns back left. He's going to get help from the forward progress here. Going to get about 2 or 3.
Ankeny still up 20-19 at last check as well, but right now we're going to stay locked in on this game because we've got a dandy. Case Hobb doing a nice job kind of weaving his way off to the left side. This offensive line, hands are on their hips right now. You got to kind of dig deep. This is where the early season work, those workouts in the summer really come into play.
All the way out right, Xavier Gutierrez. He's got a couple catches this year for Waukee. Haven't called his name a ton tonight. Baker, play action fake, going to roll to the right. Here comes pressure. He fires downfield. It is caught by Gutierrez. Boy, what a grab by number 0.
I thought I was going to run him down from behind.
No, but Gutierrez does a good job coming back to the ball and attacking it, high points it. His first catch of the night is a big one. To your point, Dar, Beckett Baker scrambling, had no idea he had some pressure on the backside and nearly gets stalked down out there by Eli Eckerman.
Under 6 minutes to go. Baker, quarterback keeper on the far sideline, and going to try to keep the legs churning. He is still not down. Now they finally blow the play dead. That's always a fun topic. When, as an official, do you officially decide, we should blow this dead?
Maybe when you see feet stop churning, as we get an extra shove in there.
Boy, in a game like this, you cannot afford an extra penalty.
Baker comes up a little gimpy. Looks no worse for the wear.
5 penalties tonight on Waukee, 5 on Northwest. Second down and 6. This clock is just moving. They're going to add more time on the play clock, but 5:07 to go here.
Dar, I saw your eyes glance off at the Lightning down to the south. And again, it's staying south and west of us significantly. That last radar check.
Yeah, I saw that out of the corner of my eye, and I thought, was that the scoreboard? But no, it was up in the sky. But
we are very good. Very good on weather.
Fortunate to be over here.
Colton Smith, the tight end, in motion from right to left. Jay White turns upfield, keeps the legs churning, and he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Third down, big third down upcoming for Waukee.
Yeah, and Jay White showing patience. We've seen the big bursts throughout, the big chunk plays, but he does a nice job staying within the design of that run. Gets to the left side, hits a hole, tries to bounce a little bit, but just does a nice job using his blockers.
3rd and 2. Is it 4-down territory? Robinson's a heck of a kicker. They need 2 yards. White stood up and he didn't get it. Dropped down for about 1.5 yards.
Another look at it one more time if we can get it. Austin Van Horn just diving in there for that tackle in the backfield, and that's going to force A long field goal try for Northwest.
The Warriors are going to kick. What are we looking at here? He's at the 24, so
you're going to be looking at about a 42-yarder, 41-yarder.
Wyatt Robinson, his longest is 40. He's 3 of 4 on field goals this year. This one's a pretty much straight shot for the senior. Snap is good, kick is up, and it is through. Ice in his veins, 31-28. Waukee has the lead, but it's not much. 3:53 to go. Mac Heitland in his offense. Return when we come back.
This ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
31-28, Waukee, 20th in the RPI, needing to win. If they lose, they're out. They're not going to the playoffs this year. Leads number 1 ranked Waukee Northwest, who a loss tonight, in all things considering, it doesn't really hurt them that much. They most likely will not file the top 8. This one's an onside kick. Who's got it? I think Northwest does. I don't even know if it was meant to be an onside kick. It was a squib. And that really backfires if that was not planned.
I don't know if that was planned. That's a really...
I don't think it was such a hard line drive kick
Maybe
by
see
Robinson.
If we can get one more replay on it. I just want to see what it would look like here.
I mean, he puts a lot of effort into this.
And the way he drives that down, though, it looks like it's intentional.
It's so hard to see, but boy, you just handed this Northwest offense 50 yards.
I think he was trying to bounce it off a Waukee player or Northwest player.
I mean, again, you talked to Coach Baker in the pregame. What do they have to lose? There is nothing to lose. But it definitely makes things very interesting now as they're at the 50. Field goal ties it, touchdown, wins it. Here's Ryan Woodruff. Gets the carry, breaking tackles, and gets upfield to about the 46-yard line. Keep an eye on the clock here, depending on how slow or how fast Northwest wants to go about this.
I mean, they're already on the plus side of the 50, and that's the downside to where they ended up there.
Can you imagine if that onside kick worked? I mean,
basically run it out.
Yeah, that would have been the game, most likely. You just never know. 2nd and 6. Play action fake. Vineyard's wide open in the flat. He's upfield. It's going to be about 3rd and 3.
Smart tackle by Jeter there. He tries to chop down the big man and knows that he's at least going to have to get the feet off the ground to get around him. So nice tackle, but big 3rd down once again.
Just over 3 minutes to go here in this one.
3 yards to go from the Waukee 43.
Waukee's crowd up and going. They know this is a big one. It's 4-down territory. There's no doubt about it. So you're going to have to hold for 2. Mac Heitland and Ryan Woodruff in the backfield on 3rd down. Waukee doesn't jump yet.
It's not an encroachment until he breaks across that neutral zone.
Northwest wanted to hope for an encroachment. They almost ruined their own play. They hand off to Woodruff, and he's got the 1st down. Well, that play was all broken because it threw Heitland off. He thought for sure there was a penalty.
Well, and that's one of those. We saw that a few years ago with Iowa State, too. You can't react to the defense. Yeah. You got to wait for a whistle there to make that decision.
Because you could jump yourself.
Yes.
He came straight up. He didn't go forward and break that play. So
2:20 to go. Heitland, play action fake. Here comes the pressure. Fires outside, and he misses Joe Vineyard. Waukee has not gotten pressure on Heitland tonight, and that was the first time they've really done it, and he made the most of it.
Breckenbeer getting into the backfield quick, sheds the block by the running back, and just gets some pressure, as you mentioned, for the first time tonight, really in the face of Heitland.
We saw that with Southeast Polk a couple of years ago with Jackson Daly. He was really good. He was a phenomenal quarterback, always is. But when he was under pressure, his throws were not as good, and he struggled a little bit more. And teams kind of started to figure that out. Now, did it matter? No, they won the state championship. But every quarterback has some sort of a weakness. Waukee trying to exploit it here. Woodruff, not much. Stood up. What do you think of the play call?
I don't mind it. I know what they're doing. You know, you're trying to soften up that front four, keep them honest. You know that this is 4-down territory. You're just trying to take a chunk out of it, and you don't want to risk an errant pass here.
1:55 to go.
Keep in mind, Northwest's longest field goal of the season is 27 yards.
Everybody's hanging on to their timeouts. Here comes the man in motion on 3rd down and 8. Mac Heitland back to throw, looking. Everybody's covered, so he takes off with it. He takes a hit, stays up. He's really close to the marker. He's going to be short, though, by about a yard.
Kids, take a lesson. Don't just try and lower a shoulder when you're tackling, guys. You got to wrap up right there. It does not matter if it's pretty. Wrapping up there prevents him from having a 4th and 1. It's more like a 4th and 4.
Yeah, it would have been 4th and 4 compared to 4th and 1.
It doesn't take the genius to know this isn't for the ball game, but it sure could be. 4th down and 1.
Push.
Heitland, hands off, and he's got it. 1st down by a couple.
Now's where managing this clock really comes into play. You're down to a minute, too. You can celebrate the 1st down all you want, but remember, you still have to convert at least 3 points, and that clock starts winding right now, and you have 3 timeouts.
Anybody else heart beating a little bit faster here?
A little bit, but
50 seconds to go, and the clock keeps moving. They run again with Woodruff. And he goes down.
14 seconds off the clock before that ball was snapped.
Are they playing for the tie?
I don't know what why not use a timeout here? You've got 3. You can hear everyone in the stands asking the same question.
Now they use one. Kapatich uses one with
but another
31
13 seconds ran off from the end of that play. And this is just, I'm never going to challenge a coach in that sense necessarily, but you've let about 35 seconds run off the clock that you didn't need to.
They had Isaiah Oliver out wide. I thought they might, go out to him, take it to the end zone. But.
Well, and now, if St. Northwest doesn't get it and Waukee gets it back with some time remaining, you can't stop the clock. I mean, Waukee can run this out. You've used your 1 timeout. You got 2 left. Waukee has 3 timeouts left. Northwest has got 2 left.
I guess it's just one of those where it's like you run it up the gut and not taking a timeout after right away. I mean, 30 seconds, that's...
I'm always of the belief the coach knows more than I do.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
You need timeouts, obviously, especially if you plan to run the ball or whatever. Now you're inside the 20. You're at the 24.
You have 2 of the best wide receivers in Class 5A. Chances are, if you toss it up to one of them might make a play. Heitland's going to go by himself in the shotgun. 5 wide receivers on 2nd and 8 from the 24. Heitland going to keep it. Mac Heitland up the middle. Still going, and down inside the 15 to the 14.
Well, and once again, Coach probably knows a little bit more than we do. He had that play call just sitting right there as we get another timeout and a new 1st down.
Not yet. They did not call a timeout. They just waited.
They
waited for the 1st down. 19 seconds. Heitland rolling. Gonna take off with it. Heitland turns the corner, gets hit. He's down at the 5. Coach Kapatich calls a timeout with 9 seconds left.
So this is where one more timeout earlier might help you a little bit.
Yeah,
you're on the 5.
If you don't get this, game's over.
If you
run it, this game's over.
If you run it,
yeah.
If you run it, you have time to call one more timeout.
Yes.
But what a fun game. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Who loves Friday Night Light football, man?
I always think back as a Hawkeye fan. This reminds me a lot of when Trace McSorley and Penn State came to the University of Iowa and beat us on a last-second touchdown pass. Sure does feel like it. Waukee has to win. If they win, they're alive in the postseason. If they lose, they're out. And I'm sure no one would like to do it more than Waukee Northwest.
Certainly.
For some reason, the clock kept moving. There we go. Now there we go.
Certainly a lot of credit to how Northwest has taken the last 2 plays. Put 2 seconds back on the clock to 11.
So 11 seconds. Still, you don't get this, game's probably over.
Trying to get a call in. I think they want 9 back on it.
Dunnigan and Oliver are to the right. To the left. Trying to look over there. I think they got Carson Burns.
10 seconds is what they wanted.
Watch out, because
I think they're going to go keeper here.
Heitland could just run this. Now Waukee takes a timeout.
So if you're Waukee, you've got to respect like the jump pass here, right? Tim Tebowing it. Especially, that's the setup. You run a quarterback keeper twice. Look for the fake tuck up over the top. We saw it on the fake field goal earlier. I think that's what Northwest tries to go back to here.
These corners are going to be tested more than they've been tested all night. And really, Northwest has done a pretty good job. I would really like to look at Joe Vineyard here. Vineyard has been open most of his catches tonight.
They try to spy him and send him on a blitz, to try to get him to.
You got a junior quarterback who has been on the same trajectory as Beckett Baker. He started young and has worked his way all the way up. And now the undefeated record is on the line to try to move to 8-0. 3 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. 2nd and 1. Waukee trying to stun number 1 Northwest. 5 yards to go. Heitland gonna keep it. Heitland, he stood up. The clock can keep running. They don't have any timeouts left, do they?
They have 2.
They got 2 left, sorry. So he stood up. For some reason, I thought they had used them both. And he's down to the 5. But they only had 1 left. I thought they only had 1 too. So now it's down, it's 1 play. That's all they're going to get.
Some home scoreboard running, maybe?
Boy, Mac waited. Like he was really patient.
He wanted the jump pass.
Yeah, that's what he was looking for.
Can we get a replay on that really quick? I don't know if we can or not. But.
They studied Tim Tebow film this week and said, you know what? That might be what we want.
He was looking for the tuck pass over the top, and I see if they go to it again.
This is it.
Throw it to yourself.
I was gonna say, or one-on-one corner of the end zone. I mean,
I don't think you risk it there.
Put it in your playmaker's hands.
I think you let Mac Heitland, who's been Mr. Efficient all season, make a decision.
This will be the biggest win of Coach Baker's career. Coach Kapadich trying to keep his team undefeated. They're going to kick it.
What do we know? We're just here for a good time.
They're going to kick it with Quaid. Boy, Waukee can't jump, and they got to look for the fake. It's 5 seconds left. It's 3rd and 2.
I think they can win it in overtime.
23-yarder.
Quaid blocked! Wow. It's blocked! Blocked by Waukee, and the Warriors are going to win!
2 seconds left.
They got to get everybody off the field so they don't get a taunting call.
There's a flag.
But Waukee's going to walk out of here in a stunner of a victory. The flag doesn't matter. It's going to be after the play's over. This one's going to be over.
Let's see if we can get a replay on the block to get a number because someone just came soaring up on the backside of that line. So here you see him set. Everything's looking right. 23-yarder.
Was it Evan Jacobson? Somebody came flying in.
It seemed like it came out a little low too, didn't it?
So Waukee will be able to take a knee and end this one, handing Northwest.
I got goosebumps, man. Holy cow.
We got Surrender Cobras in the stands over here on the Northwest side. Pure elation on the far side. Blake.
Take a look one more time.
I don't know if it was Jacobson or if it was our interior lineman, 73.
I don't know.
It might have been Jacobson.
Is it possible it just came off wrong?
It came down low. It got blocked.
That is Quaid's first missed PAT of the year.
I just want to point out, a loss for Northwest doesn't
mean a ton.
While it stinks in the moment, has very little impact on the end of the season.
Yes.
For Waukee,
this
huge. Is an elevating win that puts them in the RPI.
This makes Waterloo West it. Beckett Baker takes a knee. Down goes number 1. Waukee upsets Northwest on the road and wins the Battle of Key for the second time in the rivalry's history.
What a classic football game. 31-28, your final. Comes down to the blocked field goal from 23 yards out. Credit Waukee for sticking with it the entire time. Their defense bowed, but they didn't break when it mattered most.
This is one where these Waukee seniors someday are going to be sitting there saying, son, yeah, we came in, they were number 1.
And
we had 2 wins and we knocked them off.
If Northwest goes out and wins the title, guess what? Waukee can say they beat them.
I didn't see who just did the backflip either, but Jamal Richardson just hit a backflip.
Of all times, our infield mic does not work. I wish it would have, because Baker would have been a heck of an interview. This is the best win of Coach Baker's career. And again, they came in and they knew we didn't have anything to lose. I mean, if they lose, they're out of the playoffs, but you got to play free, you got to play tough. And we just saw, arguably, probably one of the bigger upsets we've seen in the last at least 10, 15 years in Class 5A football. The student section's going crazy on the top left corner of your screen, the ones that showed out here. I just kind of want to let the fans enjoy the moment. The Waukee staff is just fired up, and it's a selfish promo, but next week, Waterloo West will go to Waukee. The winner's in the playoffs. That's pretty much it. It's a playoff game between those two teams. And I tell you what, no one for Northwest has left. They have stayed here, staring ahead as the Warriors get it done. I don't know if we have probably don't have the replay one more time of the block, but we can look at it one more time. They thought overtime, which I love the call because I think in overtime you'd win it. Here's the block one more time. Again, we don't really know who blocked it. But Quaid was 24 of 24 coming into tonight. He hadn't missed a field goal all year. And now the Warriors get to celebrate on the road on Waukee Northwest mid-logo. Well, what a game, gentlemen. I appreciate you all for watching in tonight. A huge credit to our entire team.
It was Jacobson.
It wasn't Evan Jacobson.
It was Evan Jacobson.
Oh, my gosh.
It was.
Let it be. The senior tight end makes the most of it on the defensive side of the ball.
Basketball ups, too, to get up there.
That's it right there. Unbelievable. Want to thank everyone on our production crew, for Reese and Megan who are on camera tonight, for Rachel, our producer, dealing with all of our technical issues tonight. He's Dar Danielson. He's John Schaefer. I'm Blake Walker. We thank everyone so much for watching this third installment of the Battle for the Key that goes to the Waukee Warriors. Waukee upsets number 1 ranked Waukee Northwest 31-28. Good night, everyone.